Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. This is a fairly big agenda for us, so it's going to be we'll be here for a little while. Um, Call this meeting to order at 9:06.
Got it.
Alan, did you get any response from Joanne?
No, sir.
So
You on?
I think I guess we could go ahead and talk about adding that to the agenda, and then if I don't know
Sure.
if there's an issue, we'll deal with that later.
Okay,
Okay.
so item one, modify the agenda to include item as submitted.
Yeah, I guess we vote on whether that would be whether the group wants to have that included.
Got it.
Is this on the
So vote.
fencing, the fencing question?
The
Yep,
fencing question is, uh, yeah, the issue was for the ACC. I think I was fairly clear in the statement that I put out. I just want to include that on the agenda. Let's vote to if we want to put it on the agenda, and then if it does become part of the agenda, then we'll vote on it and have a discussion about it. So you can state your views one way or the other, or abstain if you like. My view is that I would like to at least have it on the agenda so there's a record of our opinion on just that one matter, not on the entire fencing issue. So at this point, I guess I would like to offer that as an addition to the agenda, and we'll put that at the bottom if we vote to include it. So
it's item 42.
42. Okay.
I
So
don't think it hurts to at least have a discussion, so.
yeah. So I would like to make a motion to add that to the agenda. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Is that three? All opposed? Is anybody opposed? Okay, so we'll add it to the agenda as item number 42.
Right. Okay,
And then we had one other thing we were going to talk about, and we were going to include that with the property owner comments.
correct. That's everyone's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so item one is the approval of today's ACC meeting agenda. All in favor of approval?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Item two is property owner comments. Is there anyone here today that would like to ask us questions or make a statement about anything ACC related?
Think it's included in concrete, yeah.
Craig?
Oh, hold on a second. Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you have a comment?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, this was the point where if you did have a comment about, anything unrelated to agenda items, this would be the time to talk about it. But if not, we'll move on to item three.
Sounds good.
Okay. So item three is consent agenda for approval of our meeting minutes of April 16th, 2025.
I'll make a motion to approve.
That's great on the Zoom meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I think,
All right,
Opposed?
Were we gonna get an update on a couple of those items in the property owner comments, or are we just gonna do that at the end?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. We
Yeah,
didn't talk about that other item.
Okay.
All right, well, we got the consent agenda, right? We're good on that.
Uh,
You abstain?
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Okay.
On the consent agenda.
On the
Yeah.
minutes, he's talking about the minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
So Patrick
Yeah, I'm sorry.
abstains.
We just talked about adding that to the property owner comments, and then I walked right over it.
No worries. So Patrick abstains. It's approved. And Dan, did you make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I was at the meeting, actually. I had to run the meeting, so don't ever do that to me again, Daniel.
Sorry. Yeah, I apologize for
That's all right.
Okay. Rewind to item two, property owner comments.
item two. Yeah. Dan, you want to bring this up so we can start it
Well,
out?
first on that 8 and 10 Marigold, the stormwater system, it sounds like that's, as far as Sudden Valley is concerned, at least for now, That's in the rear view mirror?
Valley View, 8 and 10 Valley View.
Yeah, that we're,
It's Marigold.
I'm sorry, yeah, Valley View. Sudden Valley has signed off on that, and it's in the rear view mirror as far as the HOA is concerned.
Correct.
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot more to talk about. I know the landowner's been talking to an attorney, and that's not something we'll get into today. It's just that whole thing
Okay.
was a learning experience, very disappointing. I was very disappointed in the way the HOA handled it. But it's a learning experience, and it's definitely going to advise me at least on how we approve some of these projects going forward and the level of detail that we'll need to see. So I'm sure that'll come
Uh,
up today. So
yeah, Dan, I'm glad you brought that up because I think there will be uh, ramifications for this in the same way that you're describing. We need to be very clear about especially drainage issues. I mean, we need to really look at cover every issue that we may be concerned about. We've been burned a few times on retaining walls, drainage issues, there are a lot of things. So we'll probably have a lot more questions and maybe there will be some iterations of this process
I
because
think
we
definitely.
need to be clear. We were really blindsided on this one and um, I feel like we kind of let down some of the property owners, um, thinking that we had a little bit more understanding of the project and some say in how this community looks and feels. And Dan, I appreciate all the work you did on trying to make this right. And as a committee, as the ACC, we have a lot of power, but it's not unlimited. And we'd like to make things right that we just can't. We can offer opinions and hope for the best at the other end of the things, but I think all we can do is be a little more circumspect and make sure that these applications are exactly how we expect them to be at the end.
Yeah, I think what was clear to me, and that's this whole experience, is that if we don't include something up front in our approval, it's not going to happen after the fact. That for whatever reason we don't need to get into now, it seemed like the teeth for the ACC to require something is going to be in the approval process. If there's any ambiguity and we weigh in after the fact, that it's not going to do any good. So yeah, no, we don't need to continue on this one. I just wanted to close the loop, and then the other question I had was on the complaint we got on Marigold. Is that any or not Marigold? Maple Court. Was that anything that we're going to be taking up, I just want to make sure that's getting addressed since that homeowner took the time and a lot of effort to reach out to us. So
Well, from Sudden Valley, from I guess the compliance manager perspective and administration, there's nothing further to be done at this point. I mean, there's no action being taken.
Well,
So
I would like to say that in this is not against you at all, Alan, but I feel like in this case somehow the ACC wasn't um, we weren't brought into this process at all, and I think it really the solution that the owner came up with and maintenance came up with is not in keeping with what we expect from the ACC. We're looking at somebody who created a parking lot in their whole front yard, essentially. Patrick and I went and looked at this yesterday, and he could bear that out too. There's what was supposed to be a remediation for erosion
Correct.
has just become a large parking lot, and they're
Acknowledge.
still parking on it. And if it's supposed to help for erosion, I don't think that there should be cars on it. That's
Fair.
and there's kind of an ambiguous area where the ACC ends and where compliance starts and where maintenance ends, and
I
this seems
don't.
like it's not a
Yeah,
success story at this point.
I don't disagree with anything you said. I agree.
yeah, that's frustrating when we're trying to do the right thing with the ACC, and then we can see stuff like this happen, and the landowner clearly just ran roughshod over the HOA and did whatever the hell they wanted to do. So, well, again, it's a learning moment. Frustrating. I want to just go back really quick to the 8 and 10 Valley View. I got a text from the landowner or the homeowner, affected homeowner, while we're sitting here. And he said within the last day or so, they've gone and poured another slab and are now putting stairs from the top deck down to the ground floor. So was that that was not in the site plan? I just went and pulled the site plan and that was not in our site plan. Was that something we approved after the fact? Was it something that Joanne approved later on? Because apparently they're pouring more concrete and doing more building out there after their final inspection.
I'd have to look into it, Dan. I don't know off the top of my head.
All right, appreciate it. That
Yeah,
looks
just to be
like-
clear on these property owner comments, these are letters or complaints that we're aware of, and maybe even we're talking with actual owners. That's why we're injecting them into this portion of the agenda, because we do hear from people and they have questions about, our policies and why they're not consistent. And we make a great effort to be consistent with what we do. And occasionally things fall through the cracks, and we go maybe a little bit above and beyond trying to ensure that all the hours that we spend trying to maintain these policies are followed out across the board. So if neighbors do complain about something, we do look into it, because we do take pride in the work we do with this committee.
Yeah, so I appreciate you following up on that, Alan, because
Just to
We've not-
confirm, this was 8 or 10.
I just got the note I got that just said poured concrete behind the house. It doesn't say which one, so they're right next to each other. I don't think it's going to be hard to figure out which one. So yeah, this developer and contractor were challenging from the get-go, and it appears that we're not done with them yet. So
Patrick, did you have anything to add to that other property where we saw the parking?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay. All right, we done with this portion?
yeah, let's roll.
Okay. I think it was Katrina. Is she the one waiting for? She wanted to go first?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Which item is that?
Item
That is-
31, 29 Maple Court.
Yeah, Patrick and I went and looked at this property and spoke with, I think Katrina, that we spoke to you, right?
Yes.
The fish doctor.
Yes.
I'm just pulling up my agenda here. I lost it for a second. Yeah, we spoke with Katrina about the extent of this fence in the front yard, and we appreciate your clarification that you sent yesterday about maybe what you considered a similar fence. Did everybody get to see what she added?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So my reasoning there, and I don't mean to, call out other property owners, but
No,
but I
that's
had followed,
perfectly,
this one
yeah.
had been approved, and I guess in my eyes, I mean, having a fence that is at the frontage, that is seen from the road, I see plenty of those. This is a good example on Little Strawberry Lane, and it just so happens that my property, that's the front of the house, because that's just, my lot is deeper than it is wide. So really the area for the dog would really be the front of the house. And as you guys saw, the area behind my house is, with the retaining wall, is just a little sliver of land.
When was that one on Strawberry Lane approved? Was that recent?
It was January 4th,
January.
2024.
Yeah, and the main issue on that one was the setbacks on that. Because I went back and looked at that. And it's on the side yard, although there is some front yard part of it. But when we came out and talked to you, I thought you had decided to go ahead and just use the backyard as a place to let your dog out to do its business. And the dog had the ability to be on the porch and, it would be there, and you really wouldn't need the fence in the front.
Well, so I thought more about it, went out, looked at the land, talked to the fencer that I'm going to hire. And I mean, giving him just that back area that's really not much. If I open if I put a fence down the side, that area, that slope, I think that would be kind of this it A wouldn't look good, and I'm really about aesthetics as you guys are. And B, it would probably just lead to like erosion there on the side if you were to run up and down that slope. So that's why opening up some of that top terrace would be ideal for us.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so the area that, can you see my cursor?
Yes.
So it looks like you're talking about from this area all the way across here and then toward the back too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. From my perspective, it seems like because you do have this sort of tiered yard and it's a very prominent, it would be a very prominent feature to have a fence to wrap around this whole space here. There, I appreciate the comparison with the other property, and I did look at that yesterday to see how it compared. And to my mind, that just and we look at these on an individual basis and make decisions based on lot placement and the yard and how it would affect the neighbors. In my mind, to have a fence to that extent would be a little excessive, which in the first place, we almost never approve anything in a front yard. We have, and oftentimes the ones that we do approve are less than what was initially asked for. So we do try to compromise and work with you on
Okay.
this. And we did have some discussions
Yeah.
yesterday, and I think you're reasonable, and I hope you feel that we are too.
Yeah.
So if I could have some of the other members maybe chime in on this, and
Yep.
maybe Patrick some more.
Yeah, have you talked to your neighbors about it? About having?
Yeah. So, yep, I have. My neighbor right across the street who, we directly look at each other. I talked to him about it and showed him where I have it staked out, and he said that's totally fine. That's the only neighbor I've talked to since he's the main. I don't have any neighbors to the left or right of me directly. I'm happy to talk to other people too.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of it the way it's laid out here. That's a pretty prominent feature, like you said, Daniel. I don't know that I would have been okay with the other one on Strawberry Lane or whatever either. So particularly the way that thing sits terrace, the picture that you showed there gives an even different perspective. Like you're going to be driving by and seeing this pretty massive retaining wall, and then there's a fence on top of it.
Yeah.
That's not the aesthetics we're going for. What about on the right side of the driveway? Looks like there's a little bit of a lowered pad there. Can you move the fence over to that section and it's where it's not so prominent in the yard?
I don't think there's as much, like the property line is kind of close there on that side. I'd be afraid of the setback. How about if I'm totally happy to work with you guys and like come to a compromise of maybe like not the entire terrace, but only I would like it so that I could have a gate in front of those stairs that go up to the front door. So like what if the fence it was not the entire terrace, but if it was pushed more over?
Katrina, is there an urgency in getting this finished?
No,
I think this might be an iterative process. I want it to be the
Yeah.
fence that you want and that we
Totally.
like too. So maybe this is going to be a process where you make another application
Okay.
with another based on what you've heard from us. It may be
Yeah,
more
I'm
input.
happy to do that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we would make at this point, then we'd make a motion to deny the request as submitted and request that the homeowner take this discussion under advisement and
Yeah.
pull back the fence and scale it back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Does
Re-
anybody
resubmit
else?
with-
Go ahead,
sorry.
Ellen.
I was just going to say, correct, Dan. We would deny this and suggest that they resubmit, incorporating the feedback gained from the discussion with the committee members.
Does
That's
anybody else
excellent.
have a comment that would help her in her her new plan design?
Yeah, I think if, she made the area smaller instead of not all the way to the end of the wall,
Yeah.
that would be agreeable.
Yeah, and I have to say, we do look at these individually, and then this is not your doing. I know you just moved in recently. That shed right on the side of the road. I mean that kind of adds to the distraction of adding another thing like a fence up there. Um, these are every decision we make here is sort of a precedent, and we have to live with those and justify them. So that shed, and again, I know it's not your doing, but it does add to the overall curb appeal of the house and what we consider when we look at these things.
I agree. I appreciate your feedback and I will work on a new proposal and think about how to make my curb appeal look best. Thank you.
Thanks, Katrina.
All right, I
Thanks.
move to deny and resubmit at a later date.
Got it.
Were you saying something, Alan?
Got it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Let's go to 1614 Nighthawk tree removal. Terry, do you have any views on this?
Yeah, I went and visited this yesterday and he didn't, we were concerned because he didn't have any information about the diameter of the tree or arborist report or anything, but those
Right.
trees are dead.
Okay.
And so I really don't think he needs to go to the expense of getting a report to say, yeah, they're dead. And so there is it's an undeveloped lot right now. And there is some danger to the neighbor if
So
he
is this
doesn't
on
take,
is this on the owner's property?
it's on the owner's
Okay.
property, but those lots down there are really tight
Okay.
and there is some danger to the neighbor to the left.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move to approve this one.
Christopher, do you have any words of wisdom that you want to include with this?
One through. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah. No, trees are definitely dead. That's all. If you guys ever come up with a shorter ACC approval system for obvious dead trees like this, I would love to take advantage of it.
Yeah, generally, if we see a really good photo or they get an arborist report, if an arborist tells us it's dead, it's dead.
Yeah.
If there's a photo where it's obvious, we don't go to look at it, just it's dead.
Yeah,
So
that's okay.
if you
I
have
will
any
work on my
other
photography
suggestion,
skills.
if you have any other suggestion to help us move things along,
No, I think the weak spot in this was my photography skills because I did that and I made it look alive somehow with my photos. So I'll work on my pictures.
okay,
All right, cool.
thanks.
All
All
right,
right,
thank you.
so we have a motion, is that right?
Very
Yeah.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Opposed? Okay,
All right, thanks, you guys.
thank you. Thanks for joining us,
For
Christopher.
sure. Bye.
Let's go to item number 19, 2 Morning Beach Drive.
Morning, Dan. It's Paul Simpson.
Hey, Paul.
How you doing?
Good. Let me
Good.
just pull you up here. 19.
I think Terry maybe and one other person was by yesterday. Saw my daughter and the dog. So I'm happy to go through answer whatever you'd like me to.
That was Patrick and me. We went out
Oh,
there.
cool. All right.
And I do have a photo for those of you who haven't seen it. Um, I'll be honest, I was skeptical when I just saw the drawing. Let me see. I'm going to share my screen in a second. This is you, right?
That's correct.
So they're in a unique position where their house is on two streets. They actually have two addresses, which is wild. So they don't really have a side yard except the one right here in the back here. But this, as you can see, there's the road right here. Morning is on the right, right?
Yeah, the road's there, and there's a retaining. Well, it's a rock wall that's about 5 feet tall in front of the like a step down. So it's higher than the road, if you would, almost up to the road.
So this is looking out at Morning Beach, right?
Correct. There's that shows the stairs, and that shows all of the the trees and shrubs that are on the front left side there.
So this is more hidden than I would have guessed just based on the application.
Yeah,
I
it's sorry for my poor drawing skills. We
no, 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 that's why we go out and look at these things. But
we used Fence Brothers and actually went and saw a couple of properties to make sure that we tried to follow what's been done before. But I would characterize it as, and you were there, it's predominantly a side yard, because if you look straight into the picture where the trees are, that's predominantly where 85% of the fence area is. Our friend and neighbor Colleen actually helped us with this a little too. She's on the side where the trees are, and we've talked through that with her as well. But all of the fence actually will actually be hidden, if you would, because it's predominantly covered all by these trees and the steps up, the 4 or 5 feet steps up.
This is
so we're
correct.
I'm sorry.
Patrick,
Go ahead.
Patrick.
The
Go ahead,
fence
Patrick.
is gonna be Odin.
Odin, yeah.
Odie, yeah, Odie.
I thought he was more like Paddington the bear than Odin.
Oh, he's gonna be a bear. We had a Bernese Mountain Dog. Claire had a Bernese Mountain Dog growing up, and unfortunately, S'mores died after 10 years. And I don't think Claire recovered when she told us she was getting a Bernese Mountain Dog. Both my wife and I were like, okay.
I'm looking at the footprint, and based on my math, it looks like it's close to 1,200 square feet of fenced area. That's a pretty large fenced area, at least relative to the size of the house, or at least if this is to scale. But I mean, a 1,200 square foot footprint for a fence is a pretty large area.
But it's all you don't really get to see it because it's the growth of the shrubbery and everything around it. It's kind of hidden from the street, from either street.
Yeah,
I'm-
that's what we tried to do, having gotten feedback from Fence Brothers, who I think have done probably at least 30 projects in Sudden Valley. So we tried to take some constructive feedback up front.
Yeah, I think that I'm falling somewhere between Dan's comment and Patrick's. I would like to see it a little bit smaller, maybe pushed back into the yard a little bit more. I see you have a gate there, and that's where I guess you've got two gates, I guess, one from the house and one from the front of the house, from the side of the house and one from the front. Is it possible to push it back a little bit? Because it is a big fence.
Yeah, we can do so. Dan, just so I understand, so the mornings, the Marigold side, you just like it not as, so instead of being 28 feet, let's say reduced by X feet, right?
Yeah, I look at fences from two ways. One, I don't like fences as a rule in Sudden Valley.
Yep.
That's not what we're there for. But two, if we're going to have a fence, one, it needs to be it's got to be inconspicuous, not obvious to everybody around. But then two, like, we have the open space. We live in a nature preserve for a reason. The more we cut that off with fences and other obstructions, the less we have in a nature preserve. So just trying to scale it back. So I would like to see it. I'm just going to say I wouldn't vote for it at the size it is. A scaled back version of it. If you guys think it fits the lot, you went and looked at it. I didn't. I'll trust you on that one. So
Well,
So-
the other issue that came up was the height of the fence. And the justification for the 5 foot height was.
I think that's a different one, Terry. It's not this one, is it? Is this one 5 feet? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
This is 5. I think the other one was 6, right?
Yeah, so this is 5. So I'm gonna just give you some real reason on why we're doing this. So we have a coyote pack, which you guys are probably well aware of, which is about 150 yards from our house. and the coyote pack has actually been in our yard. And the coyote pack recently, unfortunately, killed my daughter's cat right off the side of the house. And this is I'm not a fence guy at all. I love the way the house is laid out, but I have some real concerns. Even prior to the coyote pack, obviously we had the cougar that was euthanized, but the coyote pack has literally been in my backyard. So that's the sole reason for the fence. I'm happy to tell me the number on the front, and I'll cut it back to whatever you want, the side. But that's the reason for the fence.
I don't have any problems with the height of the fence because that's within the guidelines, or the size because it's all hidden from the street. So I would approve it the way it is.
Yeah, I think I stand with Dan on just we'd like to get it a little bit smaller. That's a lot of square footage to be cut out. So
Daniel, give me the number on the front, and I'll do it right now. I'll agree to whatever you guys want. I'm really concerned for the safety of my dog, given the fact this coyote pack is literally, right in between because as you see, there's a lot of wooded area.
yeah.
And it literally comes up between Colleen's house and my house, and I've seen it myself 3 times. And when it killed my daughter's cat, you can imagine how that hit us.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm not an expert on wildlife, but I know from some experience that a 5-foot fence is not going to keep a coyote out. They'll scale that, jump that, dig under it. And a 5-foot fence will definitely not keep a cougar or a mountain lion out. You need something like 20 feet tall because they'll jump right over a 5-foot fence. So I just want to make sure your expectations are tempered a little bit on whether it's going to keep wildlife out. I'm not sure that it will, but as far as that goes, I don't have a number. Paul, I'm giving you my comments. If the rest of the committee feels they want to go forward with it, that's fine. If there's a different drawing of it, if we can come to a consensus today, but I'd rather not design your fence on the fly. If the feedback from us is this looks acceptable, but we want it smaller, then I think we just need to have it resubmitted that way.
So I have a question. There is still, I looked at the pictures and it looks like there's a lot of vegetation there. But if the fence were built in the dimensions that are pictured here, would there still be a pathway for deer to get through and around the property?
Yeah, there's a pathway that goes directly in between my yard and Colleen's yard. There's a huge pathway, and it's deer, it's raccoons,
Yeah.
unfortunately coyotes as well. But yeah, there's a pathway from Morning Beach to Marigold and back and forth. And then there's also a pathway on the other side of my house.
Yeah, I think the 5 feet I'm okay with. That is within our policies. I would like to see that 28 maybe a little smaller, and it would make it a little bit less visible from the street. Is 20? Does 20 sound reasonable to you?
I'm literally. I appreciate your guys' help and candor and support here. You can understand some of the emotions that we're working through with my daughter. So I'm happy with 20. I'll agree to that right now, and I'll have the fence company cut back to that exact amount if that's what you'd like me to do.
Does that sound fair, committee?
Well, let me ask you a question. The fence, the way it is now, is it up against the foliage, the plants and everything? And if we cut it back, would it be more visible? Where right now it's backed up against the plants and you don't really get to notice it at all.
So Patrick, it's a good question. The way that we tried to lay it out was twofold. So the part that's really the only part that I would say is very visible the way it's drawn is kind of the gate on the Marigold side. Most all of the rest is not visible. And the gate actually is not visible from the street because you have the 5-foot drop down, if you would. Right. But if we cut it back to 20, it definitely won't make it more visible. I think it would make it less visible. And again, I have absolutely zero issues doing that.
So is the motion to change it from 28 feet along Marigold to 20 feet?
I would feel comfortable with that.
Was that your motion?
That sounds like a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you, Paul, and good luck with that. And I'm not sure the coyotes are going to be a problem for that big dog, but
I used to think that, but I'm not sure. So just from a process perspective, so I just cut it back to 20 and we're good to go, correct?
yeah.
Okay. Thank you
And,
guys
and
so much.
Alan will give you a letter
Exactly,
confirming
Paul.
that.
Since you were here, you know the decision to approve. You'll get a more formal notice from me that captures the approval and the condition that you change the 28 feet to 20 feet, and then you're good to go.
Really, really appreciate all of your help and support, and thanks for all you guys do.
Thank you, Paul. Let's talk to Emma, item 33, 6 Pinto Creek Lane. This is for a catio.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Er,
Yeah, so it's for a catio. It's on the back of the house. It's one of those situations where we have two addresses again. Um, so the side that's visible from the street is Pinto Creek Lane. That's the mailing address. And then the other one is 5 Arabian Way, and we have a deck at the back of the house with some steps that goes up to Arabian Way, just like some wooden steps. Um, and it's completely covered by trees. Like you can barely see the back of the house from Arabian Way. Um, and that's where we're looking at putting the catio, like it's just closing off an existing part of the deck off the master bedroom. Um, yeah, I sent a rendering in, but this
yeah,
is kind of my first time dealing with anything because we just moved in here last August. So, if you guys have any questions.
I had a question about the roof material on this. What is that?
Um, I'm not 100% sure on that. I would have to check with my contract. Let me see if he sent something.
What's the spec roof material for stuff like this, Daniel? We don't allow the corrugated tin or plastic, right?
Correct, yeah. We generally like to any addition like this that's attached to the house should be the same roofing material as the house.
A second. Because what we were trying to do is have something that the sun could get through because it's pretty dark back there.
Welcome to Sudden Valley.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat you're in. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like it just
I
says,
can't find that right now.
yeah, I'm
I'll
just
try and get
seeing,
that from him.
all I'm seeing here is it says a clear plastic. Oh no, that's going under. What is that?
And just to be clear, that is an AI rendering, so that's not exactly what it will look like.
Okay.
It was just to try and give you guys some kind of like visual idea of what we were looking at. Um,
So this would be the view from the back of the house, is that right?
yeah,
And this will be a structure attached to the house.
it will.
Okay.
And I have well, I don't have it on my computer right now, but from Arabian Way, like you can just see the wooden steps going down to the house. The majority of it is completely hidden from view with trees. And this wouldn't be able to be seen from the front of the house at all,
Okay.
and it would be barely visible, if any, from Arabian Way. So, and then we have two green spaces either side of the house, so
Oh, nice.
you couldn't see it pretty much from anywhere.
So
So what kind of,
the intent would be to keep the cat or cats um, inside the catio when they're not inside the house?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So we, we
Well,
have we have two cats. We take them on supervised walk on a leash. And we just want to give them some space that they can be outside but still safe.
and the birds will still be safe. So bless you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. We're trying to do with the wiring, doing it 1 inch by 1 inch, so like birds and such can't get in and get trapped in there. So
So what kind of roof do you have on the house?
um
Do you have a metal roof?
no,
Okay.
Cool.
I'm not 100% sure on that. It's not
Okay.
metal, it's just like the standard shingles and stuff, but
Oh, okay. All right. Um, yeah, it's hard to tell from this AI rendering
The
what
roofs,
that would actually look like. Generally, we do require that the roofing of any addition is the same as the house. Um, I can understand you're wanting to minimize the shade and including a little more transparency there. I can't offer a suggestion for a solution, but as it what I'm seeing now, it looks like a lot of corrugated plastic for the roof, which I think we couldn't approve that, but I think we would be open to some other design ideas. Is that right, committee?
the roof's composite shingles. I'm looking at the listing photos, and I think this is an accurate depiction. Like it's going to be on the backside of the house. Nobody's going to see it. It's on the existing deck footprint. So I don't see it being a big deal or a problem. I just except for that roofing. That needs to be the same roofing materials as the house. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
can we just include that in the motion then, that we approve it subject to the condition that the roofing materials are the same as that match the existing roofing materials on the house?
Sounds like we just did.
just one question on that. So what
Ah,
if we had no roofing on it and it was just open at the top, so it would just be the wood?
Yeah,
Then
so
you're
like a little not terrace, but just slats going across maybe.
then you've solved the problem. So that would be
Yeah.
the option, or remove the roof and you could put in like a wood slat roof or something that's not you're still going to get wet, but it would allow for some sun and shade. So
something like a pergola.
pergola, yeah, there you go.
That's what I was trying to think. Yeah. That would be fine with me. And again, I agree with I think it was Dan who said that, it's not real obvious from the front of the house and it's not a bad looking structure. It looks like you're just closing it in, have a nice enclosed in patio. So I don't mind the design at all, but again, that plastic is what stood up for me.
I'll make a motion to approve subject to the roof being the same material as the existing house or removal of the roof in place for a pergola or slat roof.
All in favor?
All right,
Hi.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Keep those cats safe and the birds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna drop off here now then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Can I jump in here, Mr.
Yeah,
Chair?
go ahead,
Okay,
Alan.
thank you. We've had some more folks join the call. As I call your name, please acknowledge you can hear me. Whitney, can you hear me?
Yes,
Are you here for a property or just observing?
just observing.
Thank you very much. Give me a moment, please. Everybody just take a break. Will, this is Alan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm just observing.
Oh, okay. Alan, I'm sorry. This is Alan. Sunny, can you hear me? Sunny Palm Tag, can you hear me? iPhone user, can you hear me? iPhone user dropped. Sunny, can you hear me? Okay. Mr. Chair, back to you.
All right. Were you ever a call screener on a radio show?
No, I've seen them though. Remember Fraser Crane?
I still watch it all the time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I guess we
We're
We
going
finished
to
number 33.
item 33.
We just
we
finished.
just did that. So let's go to item 26, detached garage in concept.
Jeff?
Jeff, yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. I think we spoke to you on Tuesday, correct?
You did.
Patrick and I went out there yesterday and looked around. And let me share one of the photos that we found that we took. This is you,
And-
correct?
Um,
Is that your lot? Do you see it?
anything? Yeah. No?
Not yet.
Can anybody see it? Oh,
Not yet.
oh, okay.
There we go.
All right.
We just see your Zoom screen right now.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There you go.
Is this
I love
full of
it.
wood? Is that all
It
wood?
is. It is wood for burning and wood for turning. I do make bowls on a lathe.
And we saw some flags there. You staked an area. Is that the area of the proposed structure?
That's correct. The pink line and the little stakes that you'll see.
You've got a garage, correct?
I do have a garage as part of the house.
Yeah. I guess what we're trying to distinguish is how this isn't we've got a size limit for sheds. And I think Patrick, I think I speak for him, we're wondering what the difference was between what you're proposing and just a very large shed. I mean, we would usually consider maybe a detached garage if you didn't already have a garage. But we're looking for a distinction between this and just a very large storage area.
Well, the storage area would be a working shed, a working garage slash shop where it would have 200 amp service. There would be no water. It would have a garage door to load in a large garage door, 9 foot high, so you could back a small truck into it without obstruction. The covered area in the renderings that I supplied would be for storing the wood. But the machinery that would be in the garage slash shop won't fit in my existing garage, which is why I rent a shop in town. And I'm looking not to rent, but instead to have an adjacent facility and a saleable asset on the property, which is why we bought all the lots around us.
Is that a business that you operate with the wood?
No, it's a hobby. I'm a software developer.
So this
But,
is a separate structure being built on a separate lot.
Well, the lot is separate right now. We're still a year out, so this is conceptual, but I'll erase the lot line. We've successfully erased some lot lines beneath us and to the right of the front door. I don't know if you took any photos of that, but as you drove to the house, there was green space all around the house, and we own the adjacent lots. Lot 44, 45, and 46 are ours.
Right. No, I'm looking at that. It looks like the middle section there is all one lot, but then the two on either side are still separate lots. But you're trying to get those property lines erased?
No, we're going to do that. I haven't tried yet, but yeah, I think that's the wisest choice, because then when we sell the property, ultimately we're selling everything at once.
So I think the concern that I have is right now you're building a separate shed on a separate lot that could be sold independent of the rest of the property.
No. My intention is to join that lot line.
But my point is that if you build, it could be. I understand your intention. I think your intentions are good, and that I appreciate that. But at this point, until that lot line is adjusted, it would be a standalone property on a standalone lot.
And this is an in concept
Yeah, if we were to do it today, but I mean to extend the square footage of the existing property 44 and include that piece of property, we're well with beneath the square footage ratio of construction. And I don't want to be in the situation of someone buying the home and then saying, "Oh, but I don't want the shop," and that doesn't make any sense at all. So that lot line will be erased, not should be.
I don't know what you guys saw when you went out there and looked at it, but I mean, from an in concept, I don't see a problem with it. It makes for a pretty large lot and detached garage slash working area, but I mean, it's all on sort of one large lot. It's kind of unique for Sudden Valley, but I don't have an issue with it. I wouldn't be okay with it until the actual lot line was adjusted and go forward with it. But in concept, I don't have an issue with it. So
Well,
Yeah,
For
thanks. Yeah.
me, for me, the issue is not the lot. It's the fact that this is a large structure that's basically a shed. Uh, and, kind of trying to be disguised as a garage when he already has a two-car garage. And it's only uh, to assist with his hobby that he has, but it's a pretty large structure to just be built on there. I mean, I think Daniel pointed out that the size of this is larger than his house.
it is. It is. And in speaking with you, Jeff, on Tuesday and looking at the drawings, I was sympathetic to your desires for this space. Um, I I thought you didn't have a garage, and that's the case with me. I have a detached garage, but it's only because I've got a small house and there's actually no space for an attached garage. It's not generally approved in Sudden Valley, um, but because I couldn't put one right next to the house, and I didn't do it, but it was done before, but that's why we had a detached one. This one, in this case, you've got a garage, and I really, we've turned down a lot of people who wanted sheds that were bigger than, what is it, 10 by 10 feet? And this one is considerably larger, and it is a shed. I mean, I know you're calling it a garage, and I sympathize with you. I would love to have this too, but it's just it's a big structure to just be attached as a shed.
Well, I mean, it cuts both ways in that the house is, I don't know, 500 square feet. And if I use the garage as a workshop, then I don't have a garage to put my vehicles in. So I have two vehicles in the garage as it exists. Um, so they're kind of mutually exclusive. Having a garage and having a workshop are two different things, which is not to put another car in there, but to be able to bring material in. Since the day I bought it, my truck has been out on the street because I already have two cars in the garage. So, yeah, I mean, we bought the lot with the intention of doing something with it. If the only thing we can do is a single family home, we'll likely leave Sudden Valley because renting a shop makes no financial sense. Owning a saleable asset and keeping my hobby adjacent to the home is my desire. That's why I've been here 33 years.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What would the difference be if this square footage were added to the house? Once the lot line was erased and you didn't have a problem with lot coverage, if it was attached to the house, would that make a difference in
How does how does the
how
differential
how
of the
we would
square?
view it?
Oh, you're asking the ACC.
you're
Yeah,
saying, Terry, you essentially attach this to the house or build an addition to the house rather than a separate standalone structure.
Right. I mean, would that make a difference in how we view it?
That's a good suggestion, Terry.
I,
Sorry?
I think that's a good suggestion.
well, I think that's probably not on the table or not what he wants, but I think it's a philosophical point.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it as um, too much lot coverage at all. I'm looking at it as you've got a community of homes, and this suddenly come up to this property where there's a workshop, which I would love to have myself, and I'm sure a lot of people in Hidden Valley would. Aesthetically, I'm not sure that fits in with Sudden Valley. And I'm just one person, and we're sort of, I think this is a process where we're trying to come to some compromise with you. I want you to have all our perspectives before you resubmit or continue with another design. But that's how I look at it. It's just not it's not a shed, it's not a garage. You don't need a garage because you've got a garage. So that's how I'm looking at it. It's not lot coverage or anything like that in my mind.
Right. I mean, expressed as a percentage of the lot, we've already got or two other lots already joined to the property. So
Yeah.
it wasn't for the lot coverage. Joining it to the home, building directly off the existing foundation, I don't want to upset the foundation. So perhaps connecting it with a breezeway, it could be 8 foot wide and just connected from the side door where the dog's pen was. That's not an issue. To the existing garage, there's a side door. So yeah, I'm amenable to that. Across the
And I think
street,
to that point, Jeff, I think more cohesion with the original structure, a breezeway or maybe some other suggestion on your, or some other design idea on your part to have a little more cohesion with the main property because right now what I'm seeing and what I'm envisioning, and maybe I'm wrong, but it's a totally different structure that may look separate from the house enough that it doesn't quite fit.
right. Well, and in keeping with the design ethic of the house, same color, same roof material, similar slope of the roof, same window style, so that it does look like it belongs. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah,
go
yeah.
with a different color and a different, it's not going to be a container structure. It's going to be stick built, right? Or steel with hardy-back cladding. The idea behind making it on the adjacent lot a little further away was to maintain some lawn space there as it exists and give it a bit of a buffer so that it's not one monolithic structure.
Well, I
That
think
is
we've beat this one up. I mean, it sounds like from an in concept standpoint, the idea of adding some space is not an issue, but we don't like the idea of a standalone structure as a shed on this thing. And I mean, I'm sympathetic to the shop need. I do woodworking also, and I do it in my garage, and I just have to pull the car out and pull the woodworking stuff into the garage and pull the car back in. So I mean, that's just what we do in Sudden Valley. So
Yeah,
where do we want to go with this, Daniel? We
I think one other point, and then I think we'll vote on it. But this, if we did approve something like this, it would be quite an outlier that we would have to justify probably over and over again with other people who want this. So do bear that in mind when you give us another design for us to consider. But at this point, I think we need to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny the in concept with the feedback that some completely detached structure in this setup just doesn't fit the aesthetics and doesn't fit the pattern of Sudden Valley. And the homeowner wants to come back with a modified design that attaches more to the house, even with a breezeway. We'll consider that. Also, for me, it would be important that the lot line adjustment be a part of any sort of final approval. But from an in concept, that would be my motion. So.
That's good. All in favor of Dan's motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for working with us.
all right, I'll submit again. I appreciate it. I'll drop off now, but yeah, I'll make it with a breezeway. I'll keep the space and the size the same because I have a lot of equipment. I've filled my existing space, which is smaller than this proposed by about 40 square feet.
I'm in your spot too. I'm in the same
Yeah,
position.
so I don't even have a place in my garage to accommodate all the equipment in the shop that I rent.
Okay.
If
Thank-
you attach it with a breezeway to the house, it needs to look similar to the house.
Yep.
Be like a pole barn type thing. It's got to be so it looks like it's part of the house.
Yeah, sure. Not a problem.
Where are we
Okay.
up to next?
Yep.
Thank you.
Well,
Colin, do we just have builders left? Is that right?
no, Jeff dropped. Craig is representing the owners. owner, builder, observer. I just want to mention Schlav. Can you hear me okay? This is Alan.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Use new ad 38, 39, and 40, 8 shooting star.
Correct.
Sunny, palm tag. Can you hear me? Okay, back to you.
Okay. Well, let's go to item 20 with Craig, 3 Austin Creek Lane.
Hey there.
Hello. You are the designer, is that right?
Yeah, and I'll be the general contractor as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the agenda. Anybody have any comments for Craig? Are you with us, Jerry?
I'm with you.
Okay. Would you pull up the drawings for us, please?
Sure thing. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
All right. Share my screen. All right. Are you seeing that?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we've got a few variances on this. Is that correct, Jerry?
Variances for open space.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just pulling it up on the agenda here. Yeah, so Craig, is there any way we can get that open space closer to our a better number? Do you have any suggestions? It looks like that area to the left of the house, left of the driveways. What will that be?
To the left of the drive. Yeah, that is sidewalk. They're pavers.
Is there any wiggle
That would
room
be,
there?
yeah, we just wouldn't have a sidewalk. We could do, gravel, or we could do whatever.
So we've got lot coverage and open space on this one, Jerry. Is that right?
That's right.
So we're looking for ways to get those numbers down a little bit or closer to what we'd like to see. And it seems like that might be an area where there should be some flexibility.
Yep.
Do you have
Yeah,
any
we could do some just pavers, smaller pavers, just landscaping, just to get people to the doors. They don't have to be as substantial as they currently are.
Could you get at the numbers that we're asking in the policies if you made some changes like that? I know this is your wish list, but
Right.
we're always trying to
So,
get it right at that number. It's like the maximum speed limit.
yeah, let me,
Again, we don't want to,
I think it's
we
only
want a
like
nice design. You've got some nice additions and changes to this property and frankly to the neighborhood. And I don't want to diminish your design, but I would like to try to get our numbers down to something a little more reasonable.
yeah, I think we're only, what is it? I thought I was only over on overall lot coverage, but the house itself was house and deck and was still within your range, but maybe I just didn't catch that. So let's see. Let's see. Demo deck.
This is not an in concept, correct?
No, this is the real deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we reviewed this as an in concept a few weeks ago. Is that correct, Alan?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Okay.
So first floor, garage analysis, house, driveway. So if you go to the narrative that I put together for you guys,
Do you know what page that's on?
um,
I think it's
it's
yeah,
down,
page 2 of
down.
26.
Yeah, if you go to page 10 of 26. Page 10. Right there. That gives a breakdown of all the square footages by component. So
Okay. Is that consistent with your numbers, Jerry?
More or less.
Okay.
so the proposed driveway and sidewalks is 1,118, giving me a total property coverage of 3616. So
Do you have a landscape plan in here?
it's the site plan. We're not proposing any plantings because all we're doing is replacing the sidewalk, and then we're reducing the size of the driveway and putting a sidewalk on the north side of the house leading into the side of the garage.
So no trees or anything?
No tree removal.
Okay.
No.
Hey, Jerry.
Any comments from the committee?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Patrick.
Yeah, on the setbacks, that's, he's got like on the south, 13 feet measured to existing house. The setback is supposed to be from the property line, not to existing homes. Is that correct?
That's correct. So this property line is, I don't know if can you see my cursor?
Yes.
So this is his property line, goes up the front of his house. He has a corner lot, which makes it a little funky. So technically he has 2 front setbacks, which he meets.
Mhm.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So this up here is a rear setback. And this is also a rear setback.
And what's that distance from the property line?
5 feet. Here, I've actually measured this on a different page. There we go. So there's his property line, tools, measure, length. Stairs is 8 feet, 4 inches. And he's only required to have 5 feet.
Right.
So, Jerry, are we still looking at a variance for lot coverage? Is that what it is?
Um, Lot coverage, yes. And part of that, if you don't meet one, if you don't meet property coverage. If you're 4% over property coverage, you're not going to meet open space. Just as a rule.
Back to that previous drawing, is that a new retaining wall, proposed retaining wall? And what is that? I can't tell whether it's a 12-foot 6-inch length and a 28-foot length, but what's the height on that retaining wall?
So this is a retaining wall in the back. This is proposed. It appears to be just a landscaping retaining wall, nothing very huge or structural.
Where's the height? I'm not taking anything for granted anymore, Jerry.
If you go to A 2.3, I think it is, in the drawings. There you go. Keep going. No, up one. Right there. No, one more up. Let's see. No, I'm sorry. Keep going down. Next one. There you go. There you go. That gives the heights. So you can see the post shade area. So the topography slopes, and the highest point is just under 4 foot, I think.
Okay.
So it goes basically from 6 inches down to about 4 feet.
Okay. Well, I think we generally like this, don't we, guys? What do we want to do with it?
I think, yeah, I like it. It's definitely an improvement to the house and again to the neighborhood. I do like to have the designer or the owner propose something as a mitigation for us to offer this variance. We don't just hand them out, as I always say. Is there any consideration for what you could do to mitigate that? I mean, landscaping or something. I mean, it's we we get a lot of people asking for variances because the property's too small, and it is small, but you got to build within the lot. So have you given any thought to what mitigation you could offer for us to offer a variance on this?
Well, the preference would be not to change the structure. So I guess if I was to concede stuff, I would prefer to concede like hard surfaces, like the sidewalks,
Okay.
and then opt for just like landscape pavers that you just set down that you can walk through the grass basically to get to your front door or whatever. So I still don't think that I'm going to get fully there, because I think what is 4%, or what was the variance? It was 4% of
Jerry, do you have those
6,000.
numbers?
Yeah, it's about 4 to 5% um, of property coverage.
Okay. Jerry, could you work with him to get the numbers closer there? And
Yeah, removing some of the hardscaping would do it.
okay.
So
And what do you guys consider hardscape? Can it be just gravel paths?
So we do have a list. Gravel paths are not considered hardscape.
Okay.
But a gravel driveway would. So somewhere between a driveway and a path is what we consider hardscape.
Right. So, yeah, like if I could go with some gravel and then that would be great for the sidewalks. That would get it down.
All right. As long as there's not going to be steps there, because then we do count stairs as hardscape.
So
Okay,
that
so we're not
walkway path leading to the front door, and then the walkway path leading to the side door in the garage. Those could be gravel, and then I can figure out what the square footage is for that.
Well, I'm sorry, committee, are you okay with offering a slight variance and having Jerry work with the builder to get those numbers down without having a specific number? Are we
Well,
good?
we've got two requests here. We've got item 20, which is the approved remodel. We could approve that and then just deny the variance and have them come back at the next meeting with an updated variance request, and then we don't have to review the whole packet all over again. It's just all we're doing. They can start going forward with their design and permitting and all of that, and with the risk associated with the variance, and then come back at the next meeting with the variance request.
I like that.
All right.
Anybody else on the committee have a comment about that?
That sounds good.
Okay.
Well, in the interest of moving things along, then I'll make a motion to approve item 20, the tiered remodel.
So can I make a comment real quick?
Sure.
Yeah. So the goal currently it's in for building permit at Whatcom County. And the goal for the owners is to start construction June 1st. So if I'm understanding what you're saying correctly, the project is approved based on the structure, and then we're going to come back and approve a variance based on some of the hardscape landscape features.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So
Did
that's
we
my
get a vote?
motion. My
Did we get a
motion is
vote?
to approve item 20.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And my motion is to deny item 21, the variance for the lot coverage, and request that the builder work with Sudden Valley inspector and et cetera to get that coverage number down lower. I think we would consider a slight variance, but there's some things that could be done to reduce that number. So,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks, Craig.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
where are we off to now?
I'm going to duck out. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Let's go to item 9 with Ed. You with us, Ed?
I went through this application in pretty good detail since it's right by my house.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So I went through this application in pretty good detail since it's right by my house. This is an application for construction, not just an in concept. It looks like it meets all the definitions. Jerry's got a few notes there related to the water lines, etc. For me, when I went through this, two things. There's a retaining wall in the back that appears to be at least 8 feet tall. There's no engineering design associated with that, no finality to that. And then on the utility lines, it just talks about utility lines. It doesn't have anything there related to whether they're buried utility lines, what depth they're buried at, where the stormwater drain is, what the depth to all that is. So in my mind, it's an incomplete application based on that. So
Hey,
Oh.
yeah.
Go ahead, Ed.
Hey, so I can get everything else done. That's not a problem. I can get you the depth if that's what's being requested. That's not an issue. Also, the retaining wall will be engineered. There will be a structural engineer working on it, as well as on the house. And so everything will be done on the engineering portion, and the depths can be provided as well. I just went off of the application and I submitted everything that was requested, and sat down with Jerry and submitted everything that was needed. And so this is the first time I'm hearing that depths are needed. And so I'll definitely provide those if you guys would be okay with the conditional approval.
Well, the issue here, and I think what Dan is bringing to the table, is we've been burned before with engineering changes, and some of them are quite extensive. So we do like to nail it down to the extent that we feel comfortable. On the topic of that wall, it looks like you could have an 8-foot drop into your backyard, less than about 5 feet away from your neighbor's yard. Is that?
That side will be 4 to 6 feet.
Yeah.
That's not going to be an 8-foot. On the north, I mean on the south
We don't
side.
know that for sure, do we?
We're positive that that's what we're gonna see at the end. Obviously, all the everything's there. The survey was done. We know our heights, and so that's pretty close, as you can get prior to building.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say, I mean, I appreciate that feels like you're being surprised by the call out on the utility lines and the stormwater system and all of that, but you can thank your fellow contractor friends for that one. Like we don't get that detailed before, and we've been burned on that. So, at least from my standpoint, I'm not approving anything until all of that's called out in the future, whether it's buried or above ground, what the depths are. But on the retaining wall, I mean, there's no way I'm going to approve an in concept with an 8 foot tall retaining wall yet to be designed and engineered. So that's my take on this thing. I think, it looks like a decent build. Um, but yeah, there's no way we go forward with that big of a retaining wall and with the neighbors right next door to it with also a retaining wall that needs to be, completely engineered with a drainage scheme and all of that, drainage system associated with that. You're back up against the wall, 8 foot tall block, that's got to have drainage, associated with it. So
Dan, we can get that in. That's not a problem. That's definitely very doable. And engineering comes, after your guys' approval technically. And so
no, it
everything will
doesn't.
be done.
That's not the way it works, Ed. You come with an 8 foot tall wall, a retaining wall, that needs to be engineered ahead of time. So that's not the way it works.
Um, Dan, would you be okay with me providing that shortly here? The engineering should be complete uh, on May 10th. And so if you'd be okay with, like I said, a conditional approval, just so I can move on, I can provide the rest. And I again, I'm not trying to hide anything. We spent extra money and time to make sure we are taking out as least trees as possible. This property comes with a 30-foot driveway easement to the south side of the property, which we're not using, just to make sure we're not damaging extra trees. Uh, we could have built probably we could have probably designed a slightly bigger house since it comes with the easement for the driveway, but we're just cutting into the square footage, making the house a little smaller. And so we're really trying. I'm not trying to hide anything.
No, Ed, I think we we do trust you, and generally in a case like this, we probably would go ahead and allow that. But recently we have been burned and burned hard, and we're trying to learn from this, and not just based on our own comments, but we hear about these things from the community, and they will tell us what they think and where they feel like we're falling down on things. So this is not about you, and we have been a little wishy-washy in approving things and just hoping for the best. Those days are gone, and that's why we're pushing a little bit harder on this one. And in addition to Dan's comments, I want to point out that I think this structure, the way it's designed, you've got the setback there on the left there, but it does seem a little close to the neighbor with the deck there. I mean, it's you're right there, right on top of them, and also
Dan,
the wall on the right. Is that tree going to come out too?
no, the wall will definitely not touch the tree. The goal is to
Well, it
stay
looks
away
like it
from
will
the roots.
kill half of the
It
roots.
will. Yeah. It will not. I mean, the goal is not to touch those trees. We want to keep all of those trees, and that's something that we will do. Also, you said on the left side we're too close
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
neighbor. You said again, we're within the rules. First of all, it's only on the back side of the house. The front, you got a much more room in the front, as you can see. Um,
No,
again,
you're well within the rules, but just as the way it's positioned with that house in that position where it is now, it seems too close to me, and that's my view. I'm not
I
sure
hear
if
you.
everybody else
Yeah,
agrees with me.
Dan, if we would change anything, we would take out more trees. That's the truth. This house fits like a glove at this point. If we uh, try to change things, like I said, we'll just have to, if we move, let's say, away from the neighbor, we will take out more trees. The property, as you can see, gets narrower towards the south side. the retaining walls get taller. So this house is positioned in a perfect spot, probably ideal for this property. Like I said, we spent a lot of time and money to make sure this is well designed. And so, like I said, this is a house that I'm going to live in, and I'm trying to go above and beyond to make sure not only do we meet all the requirements, this is a nice house for the neighborhood, and the neighbors are not upset with us.
I thought you lived in Maple Court, so are you going to move?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Well,
I think Daniel's got a good point. It'd be nice if it could slide a little bit to the right and not be right on top of the neighbor's deck there. You're gonna have your house right there next to his now, but that's all things considered. I don't know. Let everybody else. I've spoke my piece. There's no way I'm going to go forward and approve this with some of these variables, particularly on the retaining wall left unclear. So
okay,
I have a
yeah.
question. Maybe you can clear this
Go
up
ahead.
for me. I may be misreading this thing, but it looks like the retaining wall is within the setback.
Retaining wall is within the 5-foot setback.
Is inside the 5-foot setback.
So within our rules, the language is setbacks are measured to the eaves or structure. So that's referring to the house.
Right. But when you try to put another structure in that space, that's okay?
that's a good point.
It is a gray area. I have checked with Joanne when we got the submission, and she essentially said it's up to you whether or not that's going to be allowed with a variance or whatever. So
that's a really good
past,
question.
we have approved retaining walls within setbacks. And it's in the back of the property, which is good. It's not in the right of way, which is on our property. So I don't see a problem with this, but I did call it out in the inspector report, just so you're aware.
Yeah, my concern would be that that's an 8-foot drop that close to the neighbor's property.
That's a 4 to 6 foot drop, Daniel. If you're talking about the left side.
So, I mean, no, in the back, the whole back of it. What's the height? What's the highest that would be?
It goes from, let's say, 4 to 6 to 8 to 10. If you're talking about the very left side to the very right side.
And so what's behind the house, Jerry?
I could look on the Whatcom County assessor's map if you'd like.
Yeah.
Another
Do you know,
house
Ed? Do you know,
There's
Ed?
another house right behind it.
There is another house above, correct?
Okay, so that's a hill falling into a gaping hole. That seems a little dangerous,
Again,
especially with being that close to the property line.
it's going to be a retaining wall. We're not talking about soft soil. This is going to be a concrete wall with a bunch of rebar in it, engineered to handle whatever gets pushed against.
No, I'm not worried about the wall falling down. I'm worried about somebody falling into it.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you look at that, I'm looking at the Google Earth image right now, or the street view, and I'll be honest, when I walked by there and saw the stakes there, I thought, oh, there's no way we're going to build a house there. But now that you're going to put a 10-foot tall retaining wall in the back of the lot, that retaining wall is going to also have to hold up the house above it. That's your point, right, Daniel?
Yeah, yeah.
It will hold up whatever it needs to hold up. The engineer will design it, as needed up to code. So I'm not worried about that at all.
Oh, I mean, on top of that, I'm
significant
worried
variable.
that it's just a huge drop off for the neighbor to be so close to it.
I mean, what would you guys like? A railing up there? I mean,
Well, it's not a matter of it's not a matter of the neighbor's going to physically fall into there. It's a matter of
That's part of my concern, Dan.
Yeah. Oh, I would be more concerned if that was my house up there and the side of the hill is going to get eroded, that you just taken away my base foundation, like the underlying foundation of what's supporting. You got a house up here and you got a hill. You're going to carve out that hill. You now created downward pressure for the house up above. I
No, I
mean,
hear you, but that's what the retaining wall is there for, correct? I mean, you're an
yeah,
engineer. You understand these things that
well, and that's why just, an engineering wall to be determined. I mean, it looks like it's Allen block at this point. I'm not sure Allen
it's
block.
not. It's not Allen block. It's going to be a poured wall that's going to look like blocks.
It says Allen block.
Does it?
Yeah.
Allen. That's not right. It's going to look like that, but it's going to be a poured concrete wall. It's going to look like as if it's made out of blocks, but we're going to put strips of wood inside the panels to make it look like blocks. It's going to be a poured wall. That's the goal. That's what we're going with, and that's what the engineering will show.
Well, that's good then. I look forward to seeing the engineering.
I will provide the engineering. Like I said before, the engineering was never requested, and so the engineering obviously will be done. The county requested. We'll get it to you. I'm just wondering if you guys could, give me a conditional approval. I will provide everything else.
I don't
I
think
just
we'll be doing
That's
much of
that's
that in the
for me, that's
future.
a no.
I'm also concerned about that tree. I don't know how you're going to save that. I think that's a hemlock there. Is it,
Yeah, it's a 24-inch hemlock. We're
Yeah.
we're gonna save that tree. That's not an issue. That tree will stay. The goal is for that tree to stay. The neighbors, you know, won't
well,
see the house, and we won't see the neighbors. Otherwise,
so we'd probably need an arborist to check that out because you're going to be digging a hole right there, right?
we
Jerry
will
also
be. Yeah.
Jerry also flagged a maple tree that he was concerned about the roots.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up.
So that's this maple tree, and the reason I'm concerned is this power and internet line. Previously, this actually was running a little bit more closer. I brought it up to Ed, and he did move this a little bit, but it's still going to be cutting through some of the root system, but it's much less of a concern than it was before. You sort of contoured it as close to the retaining wall as you could.
So
But
which ones would I would like to get an arborist to kind of confirm these things for us. So I'm concerned about that hemlock and that maple. And is there anyone that other one that we should put in with the arborist's overview?
well, all of these are going to be going through root systems. It's a matter of how much. This power and internet thing is going to be a tube, the size of a PVC pipe you'll get
Mhm.
under your sink. It's not going to be substantial. This water one's going to be a little bit larger. I think and you can't change where that water connection is really.
Right.
So that's the most serious one, and it does go pretty close to this 18-inch maple. So if we're going to be concerned about which trees are going to go, it's going to be this 24-inch hemlock with a retaining wall cutting off, let's say a third of its root system, and then
Mhm.
it's going to be this water pipe next to this 18-inch maple.
So it sounds
So
like
this one's critical root zone will be quite a bit larger, undisturbed than the 24-inch hemlock.
So it sounds like we've got three things. One is we want to see a description of the utility, burial of all utility lines, including depths. We want to see an arborist report on these trees affected by the digging and retaining wall. And then we want to see a complete set of stamped engineering plans on this retaining wall. Like those are the three things that we need to see before we can consider approval.
And
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
have concerns about the proximity to the neighbor house. I know you're within your bounds, but I would not want to be in that house and
Well,
have
then
a house butted
there's
up
three
next to it.
things that we need to see to approve it, and one request that we're making, which is to move the house a little bit further to the right to move it away from the neighbor's lot.
If we're moving the house, if you guys are asking to move the house a little bit, I hope you understand that we're just taking out more trees and we're building taller walls. I don't see
Or building
how
a smaller house.
I'm within. I mean, obviously that's possible, but I'm not asking for any variances. I'm well within, the the rules. And
No, you
so
are, and we accept that, but we do look
again,
at these how they fit in with the other neighbors. I mean, we can't just completely write the neighbor out of this design.
if you
It,
guys are okay with taller walls and less trees, then we can definitely move the house.
well, I guess we'd like to see what design you would have if you did do that.
The design will be the same. We're just gonna have to move it slightly.
Well, you would have to tell us which trees are cut, and then we would talk about how you would mitigate that. So that would be a whole different conversation.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I mean, I'll make sure to provide whatever you guys are requesting.
Yeah, I think
That's
you know what our concerns are at this point,
yeah, yeah.
and I think we're all across the board. Does anybody disagree with what our conversation has been so far? I want the whole committee to be behind these suggestions. Joe, Jean, Patrick, do you have any other comments, or you kind of concur with what we've been saying?
I have no.
agree with what Jan has been saying.
Okay. So
Well-
you got our opinions, our views. It looks like we're gonna put this up for a motion right now.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to deny as submitted with three specific items we want to see addressed. One is an arborist report on the affected trees, the clear delineation of the utility lines and depths to coverage on those, and then a complete stamped engineering set on the retaining wall, and then an additional request to at least consider moving the house slightly to the right, and what would be the net effect of that.
Or talk to the neighbor and see if maybe it's not as big an issue as it appears to be on the drawing.
Yeah, I already spoke to the neighbor. He saw, I mean, we spoke to the neighbor. He saw where the house is going. I was staking out the house, while he was there, talking to me. So the neighbors know, and actually, the neighbor above that you guys are somewhat concerned about his house being above the retaining wall, that's the neighbor who sold the property. And so,
Well, I think if you brought their testimonial to the next meeting, that would help your case.
again, I'll try to do as much as possible. My goal is to make sure all the requirements are met. Again, like I said, we really tried with this one. I'm not asking for any variances, as you can see. We're not using the 30-foot driveway easement that comes with this property. I mean, that's just greenbelt for Sudden Valley and a lot of native vegetation that will grow on there. We're not even considering that. I mean, hopefully you guys understand that we're
We do,
really
and we
trying.
appreciate it. I feel like you're working with us, and I think you've done all this in good faith. We're just trying to make sure the neighbors are happy with the design
Yeah.
and that it stays consistent.
I think if you could get a statement from the neighbor that he's not that concerned about the house being that close, so that you wouldn't have to move it. So I think that would help.
That would help. Yeah, definitely.
I'm not worried about the neighbor up above, like any statement from him. I mean, that house, that's more of to me, a structural engineering issue, like whether that guy's concerned about it, but the next person that owns that house, when it slides down the hill, or starts to lose its foundation, then that's the issue. This is not an inconsequential retaining wall, guys. We need to pay close attention to this.
No, I agree, but as far as the proximity to the neighbors, just as an aesthetic point,
Yeah.
it would help his argument if he got some approval from them.
And this retaining wall being in the setback is also a gray area that I think if we ever get to a final approval, we're going to need to acknowledge that in the final approval that we're acknowledging the retaining wall in the setback, and maybe you can get clarity on that, not for this project, but for future projects, that retaining walls will be considered part of the structure and would require a variance. So, but anyway, you have my motion.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, thanks, Ed. Let's do item 11, 12, and 13 with David. 7 Orchid Court.
Yep, we're here.
Hey, David.
we got an updated packet on this one after you guys went out and met with them. We did approve this in concept at the last meeting.
Oh, okay.
So looks like they got the height variance down below, so there's no height variance anymore.
No height variance.
So item 12 is off the table, Alan, is that correct?
If that is where we are.
Jerry, I think Jerry worked with that. How did we get to the new number, Jerry?
We measured to the highest corner of the property.
So we're at, I don't have that new page in front of me. So which definition are we at now?
Definition 2, 24 feet. So they have 30. They're at 24.
Definition 2 is supposed to be 20, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. Definition 1, 20 feet. So how we got here was here. Measuring from the peak to the base level.
So we started at 25 and now it's what? You there, Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not sure how we started at 25.7 and now we're at, where are we now?
We are at 24.
'24, and it should be 20, right?
For definition 2, this is definition 1. Sorry, there's a small error in the pattern.
So we're still looking for a variance.
No.
Okay, I'm not clear. All right, which definition are we on?
Definition 1, 30 feet.
Okay.
So here definition 1, 30 feet from the lowest point of the existing grade.
Okay.
Or we can do definition 2, which is the highest point of the existing grade. Highest point would be not meeting it. Lowest point, hold on. Now I'm doubting myself. Lowest point, yeah, it's 33 feet. See, I had initially denied it, and then during that meeting, I dropped the thing in a different place, and I got a different number.
And why this is so critical to me, and keep working on it, Jerry. Why this is so critical to me is the side setbacks are, it's a big ask. And again, this is not your fault because those houses are built literally on your property. But even if they were back 5 feet where they should be, this is a tight space. This is still tight, and I know you worked with us a lot, and I couldn't approve a height variance and a setback variance for this property. It looks like a nice house, a nice design, but I mean, we've got these setbacks for a reason. If the height is lower and we're within our definition and our policy, I would consider it very grudgingly, but I couldn't do both. How does anybody else feel about that?
I don't know, my take, I think on the setback issue, let's just take the side setbacks. It's 20 feet total, 5 on one side minimum, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're pretty close. We're 18 feet total. including 9 feet on either side. So I look at that and say, if they were 5 feet on one side and 40 feet on the other side, is that any better than 9 feet and 9 feet? So I think I'm okay with the side setbacks, particularly because, Daniel, I think the house fits the neighborhood that way. Those houses are all kind of tight and close together. So asking this one to not be like the rest of them, I think it fits the neighborhood. The height is also, some question around that now, but I think it was pretty close. And when you're out there and you look at like the house next to it is tall, and I think it's going to flow. The other part to me is, as I understand it
I
from
think we got a note from the designer too that they said it would be lower than that house. Is that?
yeah, it's going to be lower than the house. If you're standing there looking at it, it'll be lower than the house to the right. My understanding also, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but like this is somebody building this house to live in. Like this is not a spec home, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. I look at that differently. Like, I mean, this guy's trying to build a house for his family in Sudden Valley. I look at that differently than a builder trying to build a spec house that he's just making money on. So that's my take. I mean, I think we've drugged these guys pretty well close to our side of the fence, and we're just
They've worked with us all along
yeah.
too.
I'm with you, Dan. I'm not one to normally approve variances. It's got to be a pretty damn good reason to approve a variance. In this case, I think it meets the smell test, and particularly since he's building it for him and his family to live in. So that's my take. So
What, did you get a number for us, Jerry?
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my original estimation and say that it's over.
It is over.
It is over.
by how much?
4 feet about, or 2 feet on the other definition, 32 versus 24. So
So,
between
Alan,
2 and 4 feet.
What recourse do we have if after this house is built, it's higher than the house to the right? I mean, we got a note that they promise it won't be, but and I like
Well,
to be able to trust everybody,
Yeah,
but where do we go
recourse
with that?
is extremely difficult after the fact. It's not like a retaining wall where we say move it. You know what I mean? So if there's
yeah,
Right.
any hesitancy or doubt on height, I would pause. I just sorry, I would.
yeah, we can't exactly request that they take a sawzall and chop off the
No,
top of their house.
no. I mean, side setbacks, if we're within a margin of error and we see where the corner juts out and it's within the 5 feet, hey, okay. But
Well, we could just go with a flat roof and that'll take care of it, huh?
you don't want that. Thank you, Patrick.
But
Yes.
didn't we go out and have, like, based on the work we did, we kind of measured from the other house next to it, which is a very tall house.
It is, yeah. And that is the only reason I would consider this variance because it fits with the neighbors.
I would support that. If there was any doubt, I think the margin of error is, hey, it looks like it's going to fit in. And I think there's enough positive intention at that point.
Yeah, I think so. And they've given us the things we've asked for because this has been a iterative process and they have worked with us
Yeah.
consistently. Um, any other comments? Is there a motion at this point or?
Given that we did this at the last meeting, in concept, I'll make a motion to approve item 11, along with item 12 and 13 on the variance for the side setback and the height. And appreciate, David and his brother or brother-in-law or whoever it is,
Homeowner.
working with us on this and being, they've been very patient. So anyway, that's my motion to approve items 11, 12, and 13.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, thanks for working with us, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it.
All right, David, before you go here, would you like to just send me an email, set up our compliance review?
Yep, definitely do that as soon as we can.
All right, Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk to Chad for item 14, 18 Sparrow Court.
It's 14 and 15, right?
14 and 15, yes. And I think he's here for something else too then.
27.
Hey, Chad.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Or Chada, as we call you now.
I don't know why I did that.
I'm just pulling it up. All right. This is an in concept.
Yeah, this is a plan that I think at one time came to you guys and had questions, and with the new rules and changing of stuff, I wanted, before I go and purchase this and look at doing this and doing the project, I wanted to confirm about some things.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to save the client, the person that did this, some time and money, and they're not going to build it now. The previous meeting, I guess there was a question on it. They didn't present the retaining wall and structural engineering because it was supposed to have a retaining wall. There is, but there is some now structural engineering that was with the permit set of plans.
Okay.
Oh, I know this property.
Yeah, it's a unique one, and I'm just trying to make it work for them and me and everybody, and also to see how this works, but just trying to feel this out.
This is the one that's got that giant retaining wall behind it.
Due to the type of property, yes. And
like literally the size of the top of almost to the top of the peak of the roof at some spots.
Yeah, there's going to be a little design change if moving forward. We're not going to do a huge chimney. I can probably modify some of the changes because I didn't draw this house plan. So there's some things I would have changed to make it look better that we all know looks good and better in the valley.
So that wall will run from, that's what's hitting the setbacks, is that right? That wall.
This house is following the original setback rules that before the change of 25, I think.
Yeah, if you look at it's got a 5-foot setback. If you're standing there in the driveway looking at the house, on the left side, it's got a 5-foot setback. On the right side, it's also got a 5-foot setback at the far back corner of the house, and then it kind of tapers out to a wider setback. But yeah, it's pretty well encroached or pretty well up against the 5-foot setbacks on the back. On 3 of the 4 sides, it's right at the 5-foot mark, and then it's got a little bit of wiggle room on the other side.
Yeah.
But to me, this lot fits the definition of there's some lots that you just can't build on. So, and this one's a tough one, and particularly
you can't shove it back any further and pull it. You can't pull it forward either because you have to have the driveway, the 20-foot. It is a small footprint already. It's already kind of a small house, 1,900 square foot total.
And then having that giant retaining wall in the back, I don't know.
Yeah.
That wall is always going to be an issue for me. How high is that?
There's the house.
It's as high as the house in some spots.
Yeah, that's scary. That's just scary. I mean, that's a weird thing to have in the neighborhood. And that wall is right up against the neighbor's property on both sides. That's just that's a whole different structure on its own. I can't even imagine the engineering that goes into that.
Well, there is an engineering report with this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's comforting to know that it's stable, but it's still a strange feature to have in Sudden Valley. It looks like it looks like another building.
I think there's still room with the height requirements to adjust some of the house itself to mitigate having that retaining wall disappear from visual from the front.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at proposing to raise they're at 8-foot floors, which is kind of hard to do any mechanical or kind of do anything of raising them up to 9 foot, raising them a little bit to keep it under the height, still meet the height requirement, but lift the house per the floors to hide and make it look not so shrunken, and because that retaining wall is a little bit, it'd be nice to find a way to shorten it. We can look at how we can the maximum slopage off the top of the wall up, which is safe, like the 3-to-1, 2-to-1. I can talk to my civil engineer and see if a 1-to-1 slope up would be still stable with that to minimize lowering that. I would like to lower the retaining wall if I can.
Yeah, this would definitely be known as the house that has that big wall behind it, as it is designed now. So the setbacks.
Nice thing is it's tucked up into a cul-de-sac in the back of the cul-de-sac, out of the way.
Yeah, we went and looked at it last time this came
Yeah.
came here, and I think that's a buildable lot though on the right.
Well, once I do the retaining wall, that obviously would help control it.
Okay, but I'm just concerned with how it would affect the neighboring property value.
Yeah. I'm also looking at, I don't see I mean, there's engineering plans, but they're specific to the foundation and the stormwater. I don't see anything on the retaining wall. And that's going to be another point I'll make just for the
That's
feedback.
right there.
So here they are. Concrete retaining wall, 18 Sparrow Court, Bellingham. These are all the specs. This is how it's going to be built for all the data in this table right here.
That's all we got? That looks like something you just copied and pasted out of a manual.
Well,
that's from a structural engineer with the very expensive magic stamp.
There is the magic stamp.
That's what I call it. They're the ones with the magic stamp. It's all on them if it goes bad.
Well, it is all on them until it's all on us and all on the neighbor.
Well, it's not on you. It would be on the owners and me, the engineer.
So
that's why we go to structural engineers and we go to the experts, because we are not the experts. We leave it up to the experts, and that's the ones with the $150,000 degree with that magic stamp that went to school.
The stormwater system also.
I got a kid going to engineering school. I know how expensive it is.
The stormwater system also doesn't have any, back to the earlier conversation, it doesn't have any delineation on buried or not buried, depth, coverage, trenching, all of that, and that needs to be included in if we're going to do anything, particularly with Axe Engineering, because they're the ones that did the Valley View. So that all needs
what my main thing is coming into this is if the side yard setback rules are going to be acceptable. If not, then I'm not pursuing this project any further, because I already know this has to come into full submittal of everything again.
So that's thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah, because if I can't get the side yard setback variance to work, this project's dead, and I'm not going to pursue moving forward purchasing it, and then the clients they're on their own.
So Chad, is that setback on the right, is that for the actual structure of the house, or is that the wall?
To me, it looks like they're kissing up to the side of the original 5-yard setbacks to the overhangs.
Yeah,
it is.
That's another point, Daniel. That's a good that Chad brings up, is that the setback is actually to the corner of the house. The retaining wall itself is almost on the property line.
Yeah,
which has normally been how it's been historically been used and built and done.
And I accept that, but not this wall. This is
if it's a landscape retaining wall, that's one thing, but this thing is pretty tall, so I don't know. My take is I would not approve the side setbacks given the design of this house.
Yeah, the design of the wall, really. Yeah, the design of the wall, really, Dan, is that right? Or
the house, I don't have any issue with the house, but the way the house fits on the lot and the need to have such a huge retaining wall in the setbacks along the property line, and then ask for a variance on the side setbacks itself, that wouldn't work for me.
No, I have to agree with you.
I'm one member of the committee.
I agree with that entirely. Anybody else have any comments about the setback issues?
I do recall in the notes, just to be kind of playing the devil's advocate again, that the comments for the reason the denial for that was there was no structural engineering for the wall. There is now structural engineering for the wall, which then would move that you guys would be accepting of the setbacks. But I'm not holding it. I'm just saying, I'm just reminding everybody per the last review comments I've looked at.
Yeah, and I think that's great. And going forward, that's probably how we'll always proceed. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate that you have that with you. But again, I think that wall is just, and it's it's the nature of Sudden Valley, and I think you need to be able to accommodate the crazy surroundings that are here. And I think that wall would just be, it stands out on its own, but the fact that it's that close to a neighboring property is where that's the real hitch for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions from the committee?
Do we need a action on that one?
Yeah, I guess we'll just deny the in concept. Is there
Yeah,
any other? You're
I'll
asking
make a
for
motion. I'll make a motion to deny item 14 and 15.
It'd be nice to get kind of a list of why the denial, so I can have that conversation with the owners. And
Alan, do you have all that?
So for me on the motion, the reason for the denial is the side setback is to the house. There's an additional retaining wall within the setback. That retaining wall is a giant retaining wall, and it's going to be it's going to affect the whole look of the neighborhood. So to me, trying to squeeze that house into that lot and then also request a variance and that size retaining wall, the mixture of all that just doesn't work. So
Do you have that,
Okay.
Alan? Alan?
Apologies, I was on mute. Yes,
Oh,
I've got
okay.
it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right, all in favor of Dan's motion?
Aye.
I,
All opposed? All right, thanks for working with us on that one, Chad.
yeah, I appreciate that. I was just trying to see about a project.
So we'll talk about item 27, 26 Jasper Ridge.
Correct.
I'm pulling my plans.
Yeah.
This one's a pretty cut and dry one.
Yeah, I think the issues that we saw were minimal and they focused mainly on the lighting. Were there any other issues that we were talking about, committee?
Lighting is the only thing I recall, Daniel.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Alan. Yeah, the lighting isn't the frost. You're not proposing a frosted solution. It looks like it's clear glass.
As an example, these are the lighting selections he chose out of the construction application.
The framework is acceptable, Chad. It's the bubble glass or acid washed glass that is clear. And
It's it's called clear seated glass, and we just need it. We just need it frosted.
We can definitely explain that to him that he has to get a frosted one.
Exactly.
He just was trying to find the closest thing he can find real quick that matched the application with the approved lighting that you guys have put in the mix of contact.
It's always good to throw something in that's very obvious that we'll fixate on, and then you can squeeze a bunch of other things in.
Well, I'm going to come back to the stormwater thing. There's a stormwater plan.
Well, one other thing before we go into that, Dan, just clarification on where the floodlights would be.
I'd have to ask him on that one. I believe it's going to be more on the back and maybe up front. I would have to get clarification.
Yeah, just so he's aware of the placement in relation to the neighbors.
And it was explained to him that if they are installed, they have to be down facing, not shining into houses, not shining anything. That'll be all upon install and obviously upon signing off and the final inspection with Jerry and stuff and everything.
Okay.
Making sure they're not.
Sounds good. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, I'm going to just say that the stormwater site plan looks like the ones we've always seen and we always assumed would be dealt with correctly, but we can't assume that anymore. So it shows the containment tank, and then it shows the outlet to the street. I'm not sure we want to hold this whole thing up to get that revised, although it does come from Axe Engineering. I would definitely condition all of this on a revised stormwater site plan being submitted, showing the burial of all the utilities, including the stormwater system, at a depth that is consistent with the standards required by the state of Washington for a buried stormwater system. Not a 6-inch trench with an inch of cover on it. That's not acceptable. They have specific standards, WDR standards for burying of a stormwater system. So we're going to require the stormwater system be buried and that it be buried according to Washington state standards for a buried stormwater system.
Does it not state that the depth of the buried system within the
Nope.
Axe Engineering application?
Nope, and that's what we ran
The
into
stormwater
on Valley
engineering.
View. Axe submitted a stormwater system that we all thought was going to be buried and it wasn't. And Aaron went to the state and jumped up and down and claimed that it could be above ground, and poor property owner downstream ended up with a pipeline in his yard now. So
If we go to the civil engineering that was provided, the stormwater engineering packet,
I don't see that stormwater engineering.
that pit is a 6x8 and it goes down 4 feet deep. It has to be buried for the filtration system. Then the discharge is 4 feet out, coming out and daylighting out at the creek. That's how it gets installed.
I understand that, Chad. I'm just not taking anything for granted at this point.
Well, I'm not taking it for granted. I'm looking at the actual civil engineering packet, stormwater packet, and
Where are
that's
you
what
seeing
it
that?
describes.
I'm just looking at the
It never goes on the plans. It's attached to with the stormwater engineering, which I gave.
Well, Dan, would you be satisfied if your motion, as you stated it, was part of the what was agreed to? He says it's on the plans, and I understand your.
I want to see where is it?
I give the location for the guys to know where to put.
Where is it on the plans?
Right there in the front.
Which page?
Left, front right corner, specifying what the pit is. Right there, if you zoom in.
What page is that?
You're on the page right now, looking at my site plan showing the location.
This is Jerry's page, screen.
Oh, okay, sorry.
What page
Jerry
is
down
that
below?
What page is
front
that
of the
on
house?
Jerry, what page is that on the submittal?
This is page 2 of the submittal.
Page 2?
Yes, that is P-2.
No, what Jerry,
in our agenda.
In our agenda, what page is it?
Our agenda is page 2. Or sorry, no. You're right.
No, yeah.
Page 7.
Yeah, when I zoom in on it, I can't read it. Maybe you can zoom in on it and make sense of it.
Keep going, pulling the page up, and go to the front of the house.
Front of the house.
And then zero in on your front right corner.
Front right corner.
Of the house.
House.
And it says right there, and if you go over the note, describes what the
is to be stabilizing grade less than 15% grade. If necessary, trench is to be keyed into slope with further stabilization measures, such as retaining walls, etc., to prevent any potential erosion, slope failure downstream of the stormwater treatment filtration trench location.
And then it gives a description of it 6x8 trench per figure 7. Figure 7 is in the stormwater engineering packet.
Let me read that. Hold that right there a second, Jerry.
And it's positioned that way to miss the trees when we go to drain to the ditch. We're trying to miss trees.
That doesn't say anything about the stormwater discharge being trenched and like what minimum cover is going to be over top of that. It doesn't say anything there. And that this is the exact same language that we had in 8 and 10 Valley View that they used to put the line on top of the ground.
That's interesting because that's not the correct way to install.
Yeah, you think?
Because every one I put in, we're at least 2 to 3 feet deep going down because the
Yeah,
pit is
and
4 feet deep.
Tell
And
your
you're coming out of
friends.
the pit. And
That's the
you got to
assumption that
maintain
we,
18 inches of coverage minimum.
that's the assumption we've made for every other one, and they did that for the property on 8 and 10 Valley View, but as soon as they crossed over into the neighbors right away, they just laid it on top of the neighbor's property.
Well, I understand, and I am, as some builders do not understand the codes. Like water lines have to be minimum 18. This storm water power has to be 36 on the front. You can do 2 foot. That's just because we do all the civil work and I understand the depths. But we can put that on the plans. But are you guys going to be there for the inspection of the pipe? That's the whole thing. I mean, we can put this on. A builder can still figure a way to cheap it out. A good builder would know to follow the rules.
Well, sometimes it's very obvious that they didn't do it.
I know.
I think as long as well, how would you like to articulate that requirement, Dan?
Well, I would make a motion to approve item 27 as submit, or item 27 with 2 changes. One, the lighting change be clarified that those lights need to be whatever the lighting words were that Alan used. And then two, that the plans be resubmitted to clearly delineate the stormwater system being buried and minimum coverage requirements for that.
Everybody good with that motion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, thanks for talking us through that one, Chad.
Any other things? Because so basically, I'm trying to grasp this as I prepare new ones. From now on, you guys are asking for the civil engineer or someone to specify a note saying all lines and utilities to meet the state requirements of depths, coverage, and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay. I just never been asked that before because it's always just assumed that we all know how to do it.
We never asked it before, but we will now. We're trying to learn from our mistakes. Thank you, Chad.
All right.
So what were the 2 criteria on that one?
Revised stormwater plans with a buried system and the lighting glass change from the acid bubble glass to a frosted glass.
Okay, let's go to item 36, 10 Shooting Star Court. Construction change.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, thanks.
Sweet. I'm not in the best internet service location, so
you sound great to me.
I'll try my best.
I'm getting down there.
So we got 2 things here, a variance or construction change request to add a small retaining wall to the front, and then the driveway went from 15 to 20.
Well, the ask is from 15 to 20. I think it's currently measuring in at 17. Do I have
That is correct.
And
so it hasn't been constructed yet?
It is under construction. They encountered a problem. They're submitting a variance should conditions not permit them to meet the 15 that they have specified.
So I think someone said that it's sort of an average of 17, but it's going to hit 20 in some areas. Is that correct?
No, if I measured everything correctly, maximum it'll ever be should be 18.6. At this point, I just realized that it's just not gonna be the 15 that it is on the plans. Yeah.
So obviously there have to be some sort of mitigation for that. And it was suggested that this become a heated driveway. I would suggest that it would be on any area that's over 15%. And obviously a textured surface of some sort. Does anybody feel like there should be stairs included? Well, it looks like you have stairs coming from the house
I do.
to the road. Anybody have any feelings about whether there should be stairs by the driveway? I think Dan, you don't like that.
I don't. I think that's builder's choice at this point, but
Okay.
yeah, there's not much. So you want to take this in parts, the construction change request, this small. Why do you want to make? What's with the retaining wall? Why are you adding that?
Billy, you're muted.
Sorry. Where the stairs are, hopefully you guys can hear me now.
Yeah.
Going down, I'm gonna have about 15 steps going down to the driveway. And that's just a steep, and each step is like 7 inches or whatever that is. So that's like a little less than 10 or maybe around 10 feet. And it's not directly dropping 10 feet. It's an incremental of like 3 or 4 feet at most, incremental. So that's, and like in the stairs on the right side of the stairs, there is that little cliff that's about 3 feet tall. So I'd want to put a retaining wall there,
All
just
right.
on the side of the stairs.
So
just so
what
it
is that
retains the
wall going to be made of?
Say that one more time.
Is that going to be the Allen blocks or what is that going to be?
That is going to be the Allen blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. To me, that there's not an issue with the retaining wall. That looks like probably going to be a nice landscape feature at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's just meant to retain the dirt. I wouldn't have put it there if I didn't have to, but yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve item 36, the retaining wall.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, let's see.
Then we've got the variance on the driveway.
Okay, the driveway is just 37, right? Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. All opposed? Okay. So yeah, let's look at the driveway variance. So to mitigate this variance, a heated driveway and a raked surface, is that enough?
I don't know what else you can do at this point.
Can we do just heated by any chance? I mean, it's meant for safety, for cars not to slide down. And if driveway is heated, there'd be no snow, no ice of any kind. And yeah.
What's your resistance to a textured driveway? Just a
I
raked?
don't. It's a preference, to be honest. I do not like the looks of textured driveways. I've driven all over Sudden Valley the past day or so, and I could not find that many, or actually, I wasn't able to find any textured driveways.
What does textured mean to you? I'm thinking of like a raked finish where there are some small grooves in it.
Are you thinking more of a broom finish?
I've seen a broom finish, but I think the texture, or I think it's a raked finish. Jerry, can you help me with this?
So rake finish is exactly what it sounds. You take a rake, you scrape it across a little steel wire rake, and the grooves are deeper. It's a little more jagged and irregular.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm thinking of a garden rake that has like 2.5-inch teeth.
Okay.
Now, I'm not sure how they do it, but I have seen many driveways in Sudden Valley who have what I would consider raked finish. I'm not exactly sure if that's a good definition of it. It's more than just the broom finish, which I understand is just sort of roughs it up a little bit. Go ahead, Jerry.
So Ilya, they do make a specified thing called a concrete rake, which it has teeth in it, and it makes some deeper grooves. It looks like a sort of a comb, large comb that's drug across concrete. So that's usually what we mean when we say raked finish.
Yeah, and there are a lot of them in Sudden Valley.
So we have a pretty steep driveway, and we have I would consider it a raked finish, and it's not. I know what you're talking about, Ilya. That just actually throwing a rake on wet concrete, that's going to look terrible. But in this case, a broomed finish, even on a heated driveway, it's not gonna work. Like if it's wet, those driveways get, they get mossy in the wintertime, they get kind of slippery. So just a straight broom finish is still going to be a problem, even if there's no ice or snow. But you can do something that's like it's in between a full-on rake finish, like a drag a rake across. It's what Jerry's talking about. You can go look at my house, 7 Grandview Lane. That's what we got there, and it's not smooth like a broom finish, but it's not, it doesn't look ugly. So
Okay. I was thinking like 2-inch grooves in the ground. I'm like,
No, no, no. We
no,
would not make you do that.
it's something, almost think of it more like a broom finish that you're kind of pushing on the broom a little bit. It's something to give you a little more traction, so you're not dealing with just because even a broom finish over time, like it's gonna kind of wear out and smooth
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
You just got to get something in there that's a little bit more, gives you a little more traction going up and down the hill.
feel free to say no, but I want to push a little bit. And I'll respect your guys' decision. But would I be able to do just broom finish in that case? Sorry, just rake finish at that point?
I mean, it's just too far into the variance, I think, for me. But I'm open to suggestions from the rest of the committee. So heated? Yeah.
So make it
Yeah.
make it heated and broomed, or
Yeah.
and raked.
Yeah. For any area that's over 15. If you have
Anything that's over 15. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier now.
Yeah.
That heating system is like a little over $5,000, to my understanding.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as long as it's in the space that's more than 15.
Okay.
All right. I guess we've got a motion on the table.
Let's do that.
Did you get all that, Alan?
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Do we need to reiterate it or?
Well, I'll read back. So
Okay.
you want heated driveway and then heated and raked for areas over 15% grade.
Correct. All in favor?
One
Aye.
more quick question. I'm sorry. Do you guys want the whole entire driveway raked or only where it's over 15?
Well, I mean, it would look better if you did the whole thing. I don't think
Actually,
it's
yeah,
that
that's true.
big a deal.
So I specifically wrote 15 because that's what I heard, but this is a little different in my eyes. You're going to heating and raked for the entire driveway.
Heating, I think.
Heated for over 15 and raked for the entire driveway.
Yeah.
Got it.
What he said. So that was our motion. I think we all approved that, correct?
Got it.
That works.
Okay.
That works. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Ilya. Thank you. All right, let's slide on down to item 37.
That was 37. That's the.
I mean, 38, 39, and 40.
Yep.
Slav, you with us?
Yes, sir.
All right. What do we have here?
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thanks. I think there was some question about what you're actually asking for here. So if you could just kind of reiterate what you're outlining in item 39.
In number 39, it's
Deck
just
and paint. It's your construction change for your deck and paint.
deck and paint.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. No, well, I didn't have any paint. Yeah. Oh,
No,
paint. Sorry. Yes. The
Yeah,
retaining wall is just concrete.
Yeah.
It's just concrete right now, and I'd like to get a color approved that's kind of more appropriate for concrete. So we don't want to leave just concrete on the concrete. Sorry, on the retaining wall that's by the garage door.
Is there any other concrete on the house that would be painted?
No. I mean, the rest of the concrete is tarred for the foundation for the purposes of moisture to hold so it doesn't get into the house. But this is going to be the only, because it's in the front of the house for aesthetics.
All right.
So
And there's a stairway sort of attached. I guess it goes up and then around that wall. Is that how that works?
correct. So on the side,
Okay.
and then it goes up.
Okay.
And then deck regarding, we were hoping to build a concrete stairs. So instead of concrete stairs, um, we're just realizing that it's going to be a lot simpler and will look a lot better if it's built out of treated wood and Trex material put over it. It's just the slope of over 10 feet and it kind of curves, and concrete work is just way too difficult and have to do a lot of compaction to unnecessary things. And this way, it's going to be a lot easier.
Okay.
And if somebody, yeah. So that's the number 39, just a couple simple things.
Okay. Let's look at 40 real quick.
40.
Retaining wall.
Yeah, just a couple of retaining walls to make the landscape easier. Particularly next door, my brother's house has some slopes, and I'm trying to make it less steep on my side so I could retain some soil to make the landscape look a lot better. And that's on the back side, and up front, just how the area is hilly, but I'm trying to make it a little more, give it a little flatter look and retain a little bit of couple feet of soil.
I think in concept this looks nice. But again, once bitten, twice shy on retaining walls. We've been asked, oh yeah, we build a retaining wall. It's going to be about 2 to 3 feet and it ends up being 6 feet.
Yeah,
So
no,
I think, I think
none of that. And
I get that. I mean, but right now all we're looking at is a picture with some hand-drawn red squares in it. So I think conceptually it looks good, but for me to approve this, I'd want to see you come back with, you don't necessarily need engineering plans because it's not over 4 feet, but at least like, a landscape plan that showed what type of block you're going to use, how high is it going to be, what are you doing for drainage behind it. You've identified all those things in your application, and that's great. I think we would just, for me, I'd want to see a little more detail before approving the retaining walls. So I think in concept they're great, just need to see a little bit more structure around how they're going to be built.
gotcha. My plan was to have a 6-inch footing for them so that they're not in the soil, they're not sinking. And the landscape, like I've showed the existing pictures. These are not like theoretical pictures. And I took my measurements, and they're 24 to 30 inches tall. So the measurements have been taken, and we're toward the end of the completion of the house. So all that's been done. So there's no surprises on that side. So it's up to 30 inches tall. And I've done all my measurements on that already.
Right. Again, all that looks good. Just need to see it in a more complete plan set. So,
Jerry, do we have any more on that, or is that just something that
I took realistic pictures is what I've tried on my end.
No, I appreciate that. And again, I apologize that we have to be sticklers on this, but tell your
No, I
friends.
hear you.
Tell your friends that we don't like to be surprised. So we have no, and again, this is a document that we'll be signing off on. So we do want to make sure that everything is exactly how we expect them. Dan, what specifically would you like to see included in this before you feel comfortable with it?
well, again, just a little more of a complete set, like, okay, this is the retaining wall. It's going to be not approximately 2 feet tall. It's going to be 3 feet tall on this side and 2 feet tall on this side. Like, just, we've gotten those from other ones. I'm thinking of our friends on Marigold that gave us an engineering set, or they didn't give us an engineering set. They just gave us a sketch and then end up building something much taller. So, I think just working with a landscaper or an architect or contractor or somebody could come up with a pretty simple plan set that shows, how all we're looking at is squares without any frame of reference. Like we don't know, like the one on the left side, is that 2 feet tall or is that 12 inches tall? Is it 6 feet long or is it 16 feet long?
No. I hear what you're saying. Like I've mentioned, between 24 to
30 inches, and I know the rules that anything over 4 feet it requires engineering, so I'm not even going there. And if that was the case, I would definitely reach out to you guys in a different perspective. That's why we're chatting and I'm part of this meeting.
Okay, so Dan, are you inclined to deny this until we get more information?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, just to kind of move things along, I think we've got the
Extension?
extension, so maybe we can take the first two, item 38 and 39, I make a motion to approve item 38 and 39.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All
And
opposed?
and then I'll make a motion to deny item 40, at least not that we don't like the retaining walls, but we just deny item 40 and request that the builder come back with more detail on placement, height, width, construction, drainage, that sort of thing. So
Gotcha. So question for you is no conditions, like if, I mean, retaining wall are pretty easy. Hey, you told us more than, I'm just toward the end, and the next meeting is like right at the June.
well, we got a meeting in 2 weeks, so
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. I see. I was hoping for conditions that we could meet something like, hey, if it's over 3 feet, then hey, you have to take it down. It's just a retaining wall and blocks. There's nothing really hard here, but
Well,
I don't
normally
have
we
any.
would do that, and I apologize that we can't, but things have changed recently, and we really do need to push on this a little bit.
We've had
Uh,
too many people, they've had too many people say they're going to do one thing and then they do another, based on our goodwill of letting them go forward. So
Yeah, and you've been great. You've been great. It's not that we don't trust you, but we really need to keep an eye on what we're approving. So there's a motion on the table to deny this pending further information. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay.
thank you guys.
Thanks for working with us.
Yep.
All right. Do we have somebody else waiting with us, Alan?
Nope, just observers.
Okay. Okay. Well, then let's start at the top.
Okay.
Actually, a 5-minute break, everybody.
Good idea.
yeah.
All right. See you in 5.
5 minutes.
We did the hard stuff already. All right, let's jump up to item 4, which is exterior lighting, which I guess this conversation started in a meeting I wasn't a part of, so where are we with this one? It sounds like you had a discussion already about it.
Yeah, we asked them at the last meeting, we asked them to come back with, okay, we didn't like it at all. And it was, well, if you're going to have this, like, give us some description as to like when you're going to operate this system and what is it, and I don't think they really came back with anything more than just the lights will remain in compliance with lighting rules and regulations. So, I mean, the fact that you're going to encircle your entire house in these bright little LED lights,
It's
I'll
not
let
really
someone else
consistent
talk.
with what we do in Sudden Valley or what we hope to achieve.
No, I mean they're outlining the entire frame of the house with it, the front and the back, all the eaves. It's going to look like
a department store.
yes. I'm not in favor of it, and I wouldn't be if I lived in Gate 1 at all. So
What about asking for some testimonial from the neighbors? In addition to the information on when they're going to operate them.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. If that were my neighbor, I would say, no, please don't do that. I would say, please. It's not generally what Sudden Valley is about. So yeah, I would be against the proposal as it stands. I was curious how I saw that it was on the agenda last time. I was hoping that it wouldn't go through, but it looked like there were more dangly lights before, weren't there?
No, same one.
No.
This is the same exact.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like the whole house is sort of encircled with lights, which might be nice in a different neighborhood, but I'm not sure it's appropriate here.
No. Maybe like somewhere South Las Vegas.
Somewhere
Yeah.
on the strip.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I'm inclined to say, like, just to say no, it doesn't fit Sudden Valley, and like if they came back with strong testimonials from the neighbors saying we all want to see these lights, and along with a plan on how they want to operate, maybe we would reconsider. But as submitted, it's to me it's a no-go. So
Yeah, and how far apart are the lights? I mean, is like every foot or 2 feet or so, or
Yeah,
is
I
it?
think it's between a foot and 18 inches.
yeah,
Yeah,
around the whole perimeter.
yeah, it seems excessive.
Yeah.
So I've got deny with possible resubmittal with neighbor testimonials and hours of operation.
I wouldn't condition the denial on anything. It's just we're denying it. If they want to resubmit it, they can do that, but it's going to have to come with a lot more than what they have today.
Yeah,
So.
if a couple neighbors say it's okay, that's probably still not enough for me. It's a lot of light. It's just a lot of light.
All right,
So,
well, I'll make a motion to deny with the feedback that this lighting pattern just doesn't fit with what we do in Sudden Valley. We're trying to eliminate lights and the bistro lights and string lights and all that, and so this is a no based on that.
all in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, let's move down to the shrubs.
I move to approve.
Let's see. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. All right. Any other comments?
Which one are we on? 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor of the approval?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Gas meter on item 6.
I move to approve.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Boy, if these were only contractors.
Yeah.
Item 7, same property.
Tree. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this one we were a little bit concerned about how stark it's going to look there once you remove that. This is what kind of tree was this? This is a cedar tree. And I can understand that it's kind of blocking a lot of stuff and it's not the most beautiful tree, but still it is something, some nice vegetation there. So what do you think about having them replace it with something?
Yeah. I recommend that they replace it with a native tree, small tree, because they're concerned about the height of it.
Yeah.
For one
Yeah.
thing, I think.
So approval with replacement.
Right.
Any, you want to be more specific, Terry, or?
No, I mean, there are a lot of choices they can make, but I think the requirement should be that it be replaced.
Okay.
Require that it be replaced or recommending that it be replaced?
Well, recommend a native tree.
Yeah.
But require
if
that.
they want something like a Jap maple, that would
Yeah.
be fine. And it's not native. So
Required.
Okay.
So it's required that they do something, correct?
yeah.
Okay.
So required replacement, and we recommend it with a small native tree.
Yeah.
Got
Any
it.
other comments on that issue?
Terry?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Item 8, 2 Jubilee Lane, a limbing.
I thought they removed.
Oh, is this the one that was removed?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, correct.
All right, then let's go to 9.
We did 9.
I've got that circled off already. Okay. Let's do 10.
Okay.
Anybody have any objection to going to 10? This is
No.
13 Orchid Court.
Yeah.
Missing 3 trees. Terry looked at this one, right?
Yeah, I looked at it. The trees are, yeah, this is an interesting place. The trees are all within a back fence. And he talks about bark beetle infestation. It's not severe. However, the trees only have foliage up at the top. And behind this, where you see on the picture, that dark shaded area, that's a cliff.
Oh,
And so their concern, the insurer's concern, was that the trees are candidates to fall on the house, and they're within about 10 feet of the back of the house. And so because of that cliff, the sparse foliage up there is going to be subjected to more severe stress when winds come. So, so I'm inclined to say, yeah, they're going to have a hell of a time taking those trees down in the location that they're in.
it's not going to be cheap.
No, it's not going to be cheap, but I think I agree that there is reason for concern. And
They've got 20 other trees in that area.
they have, yeah, there's a lot of other stuff down that cliff. But like I say, it doesn't come up to the same height as those 3. And so when there's wind, those 3 are subjected to, and they're not intertwined. So each one is subjected to the wind stress.
Well, you want to make a motion for us?
Well, I'll I'll move to approve. I wish they had submitted some more documentation with this, but I don't think that I have grounds to deny. I don't think we have grounds to deny.
Okay.
Well, not if the insurance company has weighed in.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Let's see. So we did 8, right? Did we do 8?
Yeah, we're all the way up to number 17.
Okay. Free library.
Yeah.
There was one I had concerns about, and I don't know if this was the one.
There's 2 free libraries.
Yeah.
There was one
2
about
catios and 2 libraries. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea. I can't complain about the idea. And the other one was the one I was more concerned about, that it would be a little top heavy and dangerous. I don't know what's the support on this one?
Yeah, it doesn't show. It just kind of shows it sitting on a plastic tub or something.
The belief is it was built but not necessarily installed.
Yeah, yeah.
So we would have to ensure that it's solidly secured. And if it is in the right of way, we need maintenance to look at it too, right?
Yeah.
If it's temporary, then we're fine. If it's
Well,
movable
if it's solid,
well, if
depends
it's
how they
solid,
make it
then
solid.
yeah, it's exactly right. It depends on how they make it solid.
Well, she says it's be installed on her property.
Yeah, I think she does. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people think that's their property when it's not.
I think we'll want to verify that, Patrick, because she may believe it to be her property, but it could actually be Sudden Valley right of way.
Yeah,
The
the ACC goes on record for being in 4 libraries.
Yeah, sure.
But we want to ensure that the kids don't get smashed by the books, which would be terrible.
Do you want to suggest approving it pending the verification of the installation location?
Yeah, I think it needs to be on their property and not within the setback.
Yeah.
And the type of installation, how it's going to be anchored.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if we're going in that direction, I think it tips the point to deny and then request resubmission with method of anchorage and location of installation required.
I like that motion.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
Okay.
let them know we're for the idea.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So that sounds like that was a motion.
I can't make that motion, but I'm writing it down from what I remembered.
I'll make that.
All right.
Patrick, okay.
So move to deny pending and resubmit location and how it'll be attached.
Yeah,
and installed.
anchorage. Yep. Okay.
And that's 17. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, let's move on to the other library. Which one was that?
Then we want to go to item 18.
Oh, that's part of this.
If you could do 18, that would be great because
That's when
Lucas
we
and I are
subtracted
waiting for
the-
that one.
Yeah, we have those observers who.
Oh yeah, you should have told us. We would have gotten to you right away.
I'm sorry, we were just being patient.
Oh,
Okay, no, we try to get if somebody's waiting, we generally try to get them in first.
And what's your relation to this item?
We are the neighbors
Okay.
directly next door.
Okay, we'll do 18 then.
This is an interesting drawing. I think the neighbor, if that's Danielle, has submitted more detail on this one. I don't know if you all got a chance to see the.
Yeah, we
screenshot
did go
that I
look
sent
at this
you.
one. Well, I'm sorry, Dan, did you say you sent something?
Oh, I sent you guys a screenshot last night just from
Oh yeah,
the property lines. Did you go out and look at this?
Yeah, we went and looked at it. We felt that the fence was excessive. I mean, it's a big dog area for the lot, and we didn't like the idea that it went all the way to the right up to the border, right up to the pathway.
Do you know this neighbor?
What was that?
You know the neighbor, Danielle?
Yes, I do.
And
What
does she have rheumatoid arthritis and neuropathy?
She probably does, but I'm not aware personally of that.
But she also has a daughter that lives on the property that does not and usually takes care of the dog.
Well, if you look at the property line, and again, I mean, what I sent you is there's not always 100% they call it geo-rectified or whatever, but I mean, her property line is still probably couple of feet, 2-3 feet off of the walking path there. And she's got this fence line either on the property line or on the Sudden Valley walking path there. So
Yeah, apparently there was a fence there, and I think she's trying to pick that up again, which I don't like. And I think the neighbor's point, what Patrick and I determined might be a good compromise is if they in the back there they contain the fence to just where their porch is, and then maybe move it over to the left a little bit, so it's not even coming close to the pathway, and probably not affecting the neighbors to the right. I'm not sure which neighbors we have with us.
Both neighbors, myself, and then the neighbors on the other side of her house also don't like this fence. They were going to join the Zoom, but she's a lot older, so I'm not sure that she was able to get on.
So did you understand what Patrick and I were considering?
Yes.
What you're saying
Does that sound amenable?
What you're saying makes sense. So I think that the front left corner of her deck is probably right at the setback from her property line, and that's why the deck was built that size. So if extended straight out from the patio under the deck to her left, that would probably keep her within the setback, and that could be amenable to us. I don't know if the neighbor on that side would be okay with it, but she's not on this call. She could get on it.
So are you saying that the top of her deck is within about 5 feet, is about 5 feet from the property line?
Yeah.
Definitely, because the property line doesn't go all the way to the path, and I'm sure that it's within that.
Well, maybe what we should do is deny this and have them resubmit to do it off to the side but verify where their property line is. I know when we went to put our fence in, we had to go and locate the points
Yeah.
to be able to, it was 5 feet off. So, it seems pretty overgrown and everything with shrubbery. But I think if we had them determine where their property line is and then go ahead and resubmit, do it to the side.
Yeah, I think that's probably safe. It was pretty hard to tell where the property line was and what they were asking for, and um, I do want to make sure that we get the input from the neighbors and stay consistent with that. So, do you have suggestions on what you'd like to see for this fence?
Well, yeah, I think that probably it shouldn't come any closer to the Lake Louise path down the deck. So what you guys are saying of going off the left side, that makes
Yeah.
sense to me, and I'd be amenable for that.
Yeah, I'm concerned about it coming anywhere near the path because it's already a tight quarter and people already struggle to pass and escape into our yard and into her yard when people have multiple dogs. It's just and it also obviously affects the aesthetic of living on the lake.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know when we were there, people were walking on the path and they were kind of shocked when we were standing right there as they came around the corner. Kind of.
Yeah, we don't need any fences along that pathway there.
No, because otherwise I think people all that live on the lake could propose building fences on everyone's property, and I think that would totally destroy the whole lake experience.
That's pretty much how we feel on the ACC as it's
So
constituted.
we're gonna say no to this and ask her, or tell her that if she wants to resubmit, it's gonna require fencing on the side of the house, and then she needs to stake that location and clearly stake the property lines so we can look at it again.
Yes, that's the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? And thanks for sticking with us, neighbors. I'm
Yeah.
sorry we didn't get to you right away, and we certainly would, and maybe we'll see you again at the next submission.
Yeah, you're fine.
Definitely.
We've just been working the whole time, but I do have a question on that then. Since that was denied, she does have those vertical fence posts that she put in between 2 years and a year and a half ago, right along the path that are quite
Right.
an eyesore. Since we're not approving a fence there, can we require that those fence posts be removed finally?
Alan?
Yeah, we can do that.
Because it's on the HOA property. There's no way that's on her property.
Well, that's a matter then for Alan. Doesn't the HOA have to go out there and look at that? And if somebody installed those posts on HOA property, they
I'm taking a note away. Basically, it becomes a compliance violation issue, and then there's a process for that. So I'll just take this away.
Yeah, we watched
as-
her son put them in the middle of the night.
Oh,
Okay. And we'll go back and corroborate it, document it, and then we'll follow up. And I'll reference that since this was denied in committee, that those fence posts need to be removed.
Yep.
Thank you. And then can I ask one other follow-up?
No, you're allowed one follow-up.
So if she does resubmit this and do the fence off to the left side of the deck, which we're amenable to, I would also like to see like her property get cleaned up and compliant a little bit before she spends money on a fence, if that makes sense. And like I noted that the gutter is hanging off her house, and that would be considered a violation on like
Alan?
I think.
Alan, Patrick, and I went and looked at this place, and what
Yeah.
he is requesting is an understatement.
Thank you.
Unfortunately,
There's a separate process for that.
Yeah.
If Lucas would fill out a homeowner request form identifying the undesirable elements, then we can do the same thing.
Okay.
Record, document, and follow up. It's on our Sudden Valley commonly requested forms page.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, just fill it out, send it in electronically, or drop it off here at the Welcome Center.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Alan,
Yeah.
can I submit an undesirable request about Eugene to have her removed?
You can request all you want, Patrick, but I'll never take offense against Joe Jean.
No. She'll be here long after we are.
Onward.
let's go to that other library, the free library, which is item 30,
Okay.
which I think will be the same exact motion. I still think it's so weird that we got two catios and two free
Absolutely.
libraries when we've
What are
never
the
had them
odds?
before. I don't want anybody to think that we're opposed to these, but we do want to ensure that
So item,
nobody gets killed.
right, to confirm, item 30, 1 Green Hill Road is going to be denied, requesting a resubmittal with describing location and anchorage.
And at what point would we bring maintenance into this story? That's
When we find out location.
okay. Okay.
Which one are you guys talking about?
We're talking about 30. Yeah, the base there doesn't look like it could hold a whole case full of books.
All right, where are we at now then?
Did we vote on that?
We did not, but
All right, all in favor? Did you read that back to us? Al?
you're denying item 30, 1 Green Hill Road, requesting that if they wish to resubmit, they should provide the location and method of anchorage.
Whose was
Yeah,
that?
be sure and include some language that says we're in favor of free libraries
yeah.
Sure.
in concept.
Yeah, put a smile at the end of that.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right, all in favor of that smile and
Whose
message?
motion was it?
Aye.
Aye.
I think that was whoever made the first motion for the other library. I would
Patrick did.
attribute them.
Patrick for both.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to 22.
Yep.
43 Rocky Ridge. Another pet fence.
Yep.
I think we went and looked at this one, didn't we, Patrick?
Yep, we did. This one you're gonna take a picture of, but we didn't until after.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They want to put a 6 foot tall, that's taller than what we allow for, and they want to do a black mesh.
Well, they're talking about hog wire.
Well, here
even though they said mesh.
Yeah, it's a little more complicated, or maybe not, but yeah, they want to replace what you see here with the fence with the hog wire. So you're seeing the
we're
lattice.
talking about, because this is 2 fence requests for the same property.
Yeah, I'll get to that. But I think what I'm seeing and what I understood was they want to just replace this whole lattice piece with the hog wire as we require. One issue is that it is not 5 feet from the setback. I think it would be 2 feet. It's a little tight back there. And then the other fence, is there a drawing? Yeah, she right now she has this temporary fence, which we allow for 1 year. So she's trying to get some growth on her plants. She was hoping to make it permanent, but I said we wouldn't allow that kind of fence to be permanent. But at this point, she is happy to just keep it as it is. So I think we need to make it clear that she can't keep that as a permanent fence.
Did you take some pictures of these, Daniel?
This one, actually I did of this one.
So the one is a pet enclosure and the other one is just a vegetation protection.
Correct.
And so the second one is,
keep, going over into her plant.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, as it turned out, my photos aren't any better than what she provided.
So what do
But the big issue with this one is the fence that she's proposing, which is the lattice one, is not 5 feet off of the property line.
But it's there now. I mean, they've already put something up.
Yeah, and I think they did it thinking that would be a permanent thing, and I think they wanted it to be permanent, but they are now proposing the hog wire. The 6 foot, which I think she said she had a husky. Is that right, Patrick?
Well, there's a husky in the picture.
Oh, is there? Yeah, that's the one then.
So
we told her
that might be the wolf that's coming around. not sure.
That might be what?
Wolf or coyote that's over
Oh,
there.
yeah. So that's what we have.
So if they want to put the fence on this, they want to basically encroach in the setback. So don't they need a separate like encroachment or variance or something like that?
Yeah, if it's that close to the
So they want to build a fence. They want it to be 6 foot tall, which is taller than what we allow for, right?
Yep,
And they want to put it within the setback.
that's correct.
So they really need to have three applications then, the fencing, the variance for the height, and the variance for the setback.
Is that how you read it, Alan? I mean,
Sorry, I was distracted.
I said on the item 22, the fencing request, if they're going to put a 6 foot fence in and they want it to be within the setback, then they really need three applications or they need 3 points of discussion. The fence, the approval of the fence,
Yeah.
the approval to go from 5 foot to 6 foot, and then a separate approval to have be within the setback.
You could do the first two together. The first one being the kind of fence and it being 6 feet. If you wanted to, or you could.
I got yeah. So the variance, most prominent one, I guess, would be the one that's in the setback. Is that how you're reading it?
That's how I'm reading it too. Like,
Okay.
I guess this looks like a pretty small fence or it's a pretty small fenced area, right?
It is, yeah.
They just have it where it runs down, the dog can go out the side door, down the house, do his business and come back up.
Yeah.
So I don't see where that's a big deal to have a fence there. But
So 22, right, Dan?
item
You're okay with
22.
22?
Yeah, it's more like just a little small dog run. It would
Yeah.
look nicer if it was black, black powder coated hog wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, they submitted this after the fact, as a I'm sorry kind of thing, and we approved it, and pending a resubmission.
Yeah, I think
some
they
of us,
just moved in.
yeah, exactly right. I think some of us expected, to be somewhere else, but no, it's staying where it is. You're just going to get the hog wire instead of the lattice.
So could we approve this as submitted with the requirement that they also submit a separate variance request? And we approve the variance request now, or do we want to make them go through the process again?
I'd feel comfortable with what you first proposed. Just approve it but require that they submit a variance.
Okay, so
And I think she was okay with 2 feet. So it would be
3 feet?
it would be 2 feet from the
2
property
feet.
line. Is
Okay,
that what
so
you remember, Patrick?
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so you're go ahead.
I'll let Patrick
Yeah,
make the motion.
okay.
I don't, as a rule, I don't make motions to approve fences, so.
And was she even really that tight about being 6 foot high?
She really wanted it because she was worried that that husky would jump it, but we don't do that, you know.
No, I guess
If she wants to, maybe she could submit another form with the variance for that height, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with a 6 foot high hog wire.
So
no, that's a little much.
we've kind of come full circle. Help me understand what we're doing
Okay.
with 22.
I would say we're
22 is
approving the size of the perimeter the dimensions of the fence
Okay.
at 5 feet,
5 feet.
5 feet with hog wire in the position that it's in now.
Okay.
On the condition that she submit a variance
For the setback.
for the setback.
And then that goes in the file.
Right.
Yeah.
And that
And you're fine with that. We just wanted the paperwork.
Yep. So that was your motion, Daniel?
That was it.
Got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, so the next one is for, let's see, I'm not sure how she worded it, but I think she talked us through it while we were there. I would say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick, she's at this point just asking to maintain this as a temporary fence.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
but
I
in
think
her description here, she says she wants a low visibility garden trellis using black 6 foot metal U posts with black PVC coated wire mesh to run along the beds and then eventually to be softened with climbing vines. So
Yeah,
what she's proposing here is something very permanent.
it is. And we talked to her and we told her it would probably come back as we would approve keeping this as it is as a temporary fence, which is in our policy says you can do that for a year and then remove it.
no
So if
line.
she so if she wants to propose something else within that year, we can look at it then, but we would approve this existing fence as a temporary fence. Does
But
that
so
sound?
we should not approve this then because this is a fence request to do something quite different than what
Yeah.
you guys agreed to on the ground out there. Like if she's got a temporary fence, then she needs to submit that for a 1 year approval, right?
No, she doesn't need to submit a temporary fence. If we just deny this, she can keep that up for a year, whether we say no
Okay.
or not. So
All right.
we could deny this.
I'll make a motion to deny.
You got a good fence denial in there. All right, everybody, any other conversation about that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? Okay,
So
24?
we're keep it as a temporary fence, the way it
Yeah.
is.
And it's only good for a year. You can only do that for a year.
Yep.
Item 24 is 370 Sudden Valley Drive. Deck and railing.
Yep.
24.
Looks like
Oh yeah,
nice
yeah.
changes.
Yeah. I didn't have any problems with this. Anybody else?
Nope.
No.
Move to approve? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 25, stairway and path. Oh,
Is this
yeah.
already in place?
I think this is, did you say it's an AI?
It is an
rendering?
AI rendering.
Yeah.
It's just a drawing to show
I would be I'd be looking more closely at property coverage if this were a new construction. I think it's a really nice addition to the house, and it seems like this is the kind of house that needs that. I don't have a problem with it. Anybody else have any issues?
No, it
What's
looks
the? Go ahead, Patrick.
okay. I move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What's the path there in front? Is that like a walking path or a bike path?
Yeah, I don't know. That does look like a Sudden Valley path of some sort.
Hmm.
Looks like the only sidewalk in Sudden Valley.
Yeah, interesting. All right.
All right, we're down to 28.
Yeah.
I think we looked at this one, didn't we, Patrick? 28, 24 Maple Court.
Right.
I think this was a 4-car driveway with a garage. This is the one I'm thinking of. Get down there. Hold on. Eight. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We haven't looked at this. It's I think I've got a photo for this one.
Yeah, they didn't put
Yeah,
any
that
pictures, did they?
with the ditch and flags along the ditch.
It's in here somewhere. I was inclined to deny this just by the fact that they have a 4-car driveway and um
They have a
and a
garage.
garage. Yeah. Yeah.
So why would they need more parking space?
Well, the wrinkle here, and this is always going to be the wrinkle, is the neighbors have them. Here it is. Hold on. Let me just quickly share with you just so you see what it is. I've literally got 5 different monitors open, so that's why I'm
I
taking
was
some
wondering, you
time.
fell around, I thought you were watching birds.
All right, are you seeing it?
Yes.
Whoops, did I just?
No, I see it. Where do they want to put the parking?
Right here.
You sent some pictures around on this one, right?
Did I?
No, maybe not.
Yeah, there was another one that. So I guess they want to put parking here. This guy here made his own parking on the right, which is, and he keeps his trash cans down there, and it's another mess. But that doesn't make it right for this guy to put one in. I don't know why people want parking here. I mean, you got a driveway. What else do you want?
Yeah, you got a 2-car garage and a big driveway. Why do you need more parking than that?
Yeah.
Why should we pave over more of Sudden Valley to park more cars?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Anybody else have any comments? I move to deny. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, 29, 106 Harborview Drive.
This is a resubmission. It's previously approved. They just ran out of time. No
Oh, right, right.
changes.
Oh, is this the one with the really nice drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give him extra credit for that.
Yeah.
First, Terry does not like the spelling on this one. They need a spell check.
I move to approve anyway.
Got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think we did 31, 32.
Yeah, hot tub.
Autumn Vista Place.
This is the rental inspection that turned up a hot tub, and the owner's been very accommodating in submitting the request and very willing to accommodate.
I applaud your compliance in confirming that these things are taken care of for rentals.
Dan, you need it by noon?
What?
Yeah, I pushed it back, so 12:30 is now my hard stop.
I'm sorry, Dan.
That's all right.
But again, Ellen, I applaud your compliance on this. This is the kind of thing that we're inspecting for before rentals are
Exactly right.
put up.
It's the kind of yield, unexpected, but a nice bonus of compliance enforcement when we go out there. There have been several little things, this is the biggest thing.
It's a real service to the neighbors, I think.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
I applaud that. I think we decided, and I think Jerry took some photos. I think we decided that it wasn't really a big issue. Is that the feeling?
I would support that. We haven't had any complaints about it up till now. It was simply a more administrative follow-up for.
And it's in the back.
It's in the back, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. 10 Loganberry Lane, number 34. You might remember this one.
Same deal. Ran out of time. Re-upping.
So we approved it the first time?
Yeah.
You did, yes. I think it's actually slightly smaller than the original.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve, provided that the owner invites the ACC over for a beer after the deck is completed.
Yeah, I'll put that on the letter, Dan. No worries.
He'll watch it. He'll watch the video. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay.
Terry, John used to be on the ACC. That's why, in case you were confused about that.
No, I think I heard that before.
He was on it twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Would it
resigned.
be
and then
wrong for us to require a beer party for each one of these? Or is that is that crossing a line of some sort?
Well, we just did the hot tub too. Maybe we should have had that for the hot tub.
All right, number 35, 8 Misty Ridge Court. Paint.
This is the front door paint.
I want to paint the door a different color.
Yeah.
Move to approve.
Roycroft Copper Red. That one's not on our list.
It is. No, it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
she
see.
looked through the key fob and just picked any color other than black.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
And I think 41.
That's it. Last one. 40. Well, two.
Well, 42. We're going to talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that.
Yep.
This is another catio.
Yay.
This Robert Mittendorf, why does that name sound familiar? Isn't he the reporter? Doesn't he a reporter for the Bellingham Herald?
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna Google that later on. So this is not part of the house, I guess.
Correct.
Just a box.
Well, it can connect to the house via a tunnel, like from
Right,
a
right,
window
right.
or a door or something, so that
Yeah.
you can have safe passage from the inside to the outside. But
I
it's
looked
free.
this one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm in favor of catios.
I
Preserve
like
the birds. I looked this one up on Amazon and it has a plastic roof. So if that's a concern, then you should know that.
No,
Well,
it's not
that's why I
plastic.
confirmed that
Yeah.
wasn't a part of the
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah. It's the corrugated nasty thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what this is, the corrugated plastic.
Really?
I think, well,
I'm looking at the drawings.
well, I looked at it on Amazon because
Okay.
they said that it was available.
Sure. Did
On-
did you happen to see the price?
It was $200 and something.
It's not bad.
Like $289.
Well, that's a little
So
more.
I mean, I read some of the reviews too. They're not very well made, but
Oh. Okay. Well, what are you going to get for $200, right?
right.
Something that large.
Oh, you're shopping
Anyway,
for one, Alan?
sorry, I digress.
All right, yeah, I think I wouldn't consider that if this were actually part of the structure, but it's just to my mind, it's like a rabbit hutch or something, which is a little weird to me, but there are some crazy cat people out there, and I can respect
Hey,
that.
hey. Come
I
on.
seem to be in the minority lately.
That's true.
All
The
right, so
dogs are taking over the world. Go ahead.
let's get a motion on this one. Terry, you want to give us a motion on this one?
Move to approve the waste of money.
You remember this is recorded, Terry.
Could you
sorry.
clean that up a little bit, Alan?
And I just looked it up, and he is a reporter for the Bellingham Herald, so he
Oh,
might just
okay.
run an article about how Sudden Valley is anti-cat. So
No, we're
Anti-cat, and we require beer parties to approve things.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, 42.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to get this on the books as something that the ACC is just aware of. I won't get into all the details of it, Dan. You can do your research on that, and I'm always happy to talk to you about it at some other point. But I felt like the ACC had some say in this matter, even as an advisory position. But I wanted to sort of curtail the use of chain link because going forward there probably will be other fences that go up and whatever other improvements they do. I personally do not like chain link fences. I understand that they're cheaper and they're used for like tennis courts and some other things that we've used. I would like to at least go on record as having making some statement about how the ACC feels about the continued use of chain link. And in this case, this would be 800 feet of chain link fence through the park. So I think that's kind of crossing a line in my mind. And I wanted the ACC to at least take some position on that material. I don't want to get into whether we need a fence, what the fence should look like, because that goes kind of beyond our scope, I think. But I think we can at least make a statement on how we feel about the length of this fence being a chain link fence.
Our concern is for the aesthetics of our community.
Exactly.
And
I
chain
think
link is okay around Area 5, but it's not okay around a public park.
Well, I think there's enough in our policy document that I outlined in the thing I sent out to everybody that we have some say in this matter. I mean, we can't stop it, but I think we could at least have an opinion. And I appreciate that we voted to put it on the agenda. So has everybody read the statement that I have is that I'm asking to vote on whether we accept this as a statement that the ACC would make. Did everybody read that and feel comfortable with it or
Yeah.
would like to amend it in
I
any way?
I don't think, we should, as Keith pointed out, they use chain link around the basketball court, the swimming pool, anything for the Sun Valley, they use the chain link. And they don't require like we do for homeowners. Another thing I think that's gonna be a problem is the fact that people are really upset about how much we're spending on a fence to begin with. And this will, greatly increase the cost of that. And it's gonna, cause more fire between people and everything. So, I don't think we should make any statement. I think it's already in there. It would look
Well,
nice, but
we will make a statement, Patrick, but we can vote what that statement will be. And we can make it, I mean, it'll go down as a record of who voted against it, who voted for it. But if the majority would like to make some statement, I would like that to at least be out there.
Well,
I think, I mean, do you not see in our purposes and our objectives any position that we could make some statement on that?
Any
I mean,
chance you can do that out on the deck for a few minutes? Any chance you can just do it? We can do it out on the patio? Yeah.
do you have any comments on this
Oh,
fence?
sorry, I thought I was on mute.
No. Do you have any comments, Dan, on the, do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, no, I do, and I get it, and I understand what Patrick's saying too, that, we're probably not gonna move the needle on this, and there's already enough angst around it, but I don't think it's a bad idea for the committee to at least be on record saying this chain link fence is while appropriate in some parts of Sudden Valley, is inconsistent with what we require from homeowners, and we would like the board to consider staying consistent with the requirements for homeowner fencing in public spaces like this, which includes the hog wire fence. And they can do with it what they want. I mean, they're probably going to ignore us and do what the hell they want to do anyway, but at least we're on record saying this is not a fence we would ever approve as an ACC.
That's all I'm really asking. I hope the language makes that clear. We're not going beyond our advising the use of something other than a chain link. So
Yeah, I do think, I mean, I get both sides in this one. I don't really even know the whole issue why a fence is being put up, but to me, yeah, around a pickleball court or around a maintenance facility, a chain link probably works better, but in a public space like this, especially if it's just sort of one fence down the middle of a field, it would look more aesthetically pleasing if we stayed consistent with what we require the homeowners. So I don't think it hurts us to go on record saying that.
Joe Jean, do you have a comment?
No.
Okay. Patrick, did you have more to say? I didn't want to cut you off.
no, I don't know. Maybe it should be us individually rather than as the committee.
Well, I mean,
Doing
we
it.
are a committee and you can abstain, you could vote no. What I'm asking is that if you vote yes, you stand by this statement that I'd like to submit it to the board. But it could go on record who voted yes, who voted no, if you're concerned about that. I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable with this, but I do want the ACC to make some statement, a majority statement to the board. And again, like Dan said, it's probably not going to make a difference, but I think that based on what we have in our policies and what our objectives are and our purpose, I think we have some say in this matter, at least to be heard. So that's where I stand. And that's what I hope is clear in this language.
Well, I'm with you.
Okay. So
I'd
you
like
want
to make a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe Jean.
I'm in favor of the dog park fence, but I think something other than chain link would make it look a lot better.
That's all I'm saying, and that's all this language says. I'm not saying we shouldn't have a fence. You know, most people do want a fence. I just don't think it should be a chain link.
Is our statement going to be lengthy the way you had it?
It's just the way we could change it if you like. Everybody has that language, right? You've all
Yeah.
seen it.
I think maybe if it could be more concise, kind of like what Joe Jean just said.
I'm happy to reword this, if you'd like.
What if we just, Daniel, what if we just took the last paragraph that just says, while the ACC does not take a position on the necessity, location, or configuration as currently proposed, it finds a chain link fence is not appropriate for this setting. Instead, we recommend use of a wood wire, etc., as more suitable and better aligns with the community aesthetics and environmental values. And then I would just only add to that, like, and also what we require homeowners in Sudden Valley to adhere to. And just make that the statement.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think I probably added a little bit more just to be clear to the committee what my intention was. But that sounds good to me.
And maybe you could leave a paragraph above it too, just to describe like why the hell are we saying anything? But it's consistent with our role of aesthetic standards and stuff. This is our statement on it. So
Okay. Yeah, so you mean the quotes out of the policy?
no, just the paragraph right above it that
Oh, okay.
consistent with its role, the ACC. So I mean, what if you could maybe take what you did and what we just talked about and send that around to the committee as a kind of everybody final sign off on it. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be good. I would be in favor of, approving and then just reworking it before you send it off.
Yep.
I want everybody to feel comfortable with it.
I'll give you my proxy. I'll give Joe Jean my proxy to vote yes on this matter, and then I'll look forward to seeing the statement. So
Okay, we'll get
Thank
that
you.
out today. Thanks, Dan. So then let's vote on. Are we all comfortable with where we are with that?
So you want an in concept vote? Is that right?
How would this work, Alan?
We're on new territory. I have no idea.
Okay. So I think we could vote on. Well, yeah, I guess Dan wants to reword this before we all sign off on it.
Right. Well, approve to send a letter to the board with our thoughts or our feelings, and then, we'll redo that.
All right, so we'll vote to approve it and we'll reword it a little bit, get approval
Right.
from everybody online, and we'll do that today.
Jerry, do you have any thoughts on this?
Me?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean
chain link fence? No.
That's kind of beyond what he would what he would make a comment on, I think, in my mind. But so I guess we'll vote then. If I move to approve that statement and any editing that
Approve
we
the
all
statement.
approve on, and we'll wrap that up today. That sound good?
To approve a statement.
To approve a statement, essentially what we've all seen though, but just
Yep.
reword it. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The other guy that was here.
So we've got
Dan voted yes.
and who's voting? Who's opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay, you said you were okay with
All right.
yeah, I just want to be clear. Patrick, did we hear from you?
Yes, I said approve.
Okay.
JJ, were you abstaining or are you voting yes?
I'll vote yes.
Okay.
All right, so it's unanimous.
Okay, so I will reword consistent with what Dan mentioned and send that to everybody.
Okay.
And everybody, I need everybody to approve it before we make it official. So keep an eye out for it today.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording. You want to call it, Dan?
Yeah.
Daniel?
We will adjourn this meeting at 12:40 p.m. Whew.